wants to do the recap?
I will be doing the recap.
Recap me.
All right. We started the day off by getting off the boat, meeting with Captain Laren, and then after meeting with Captain Loran, the captain we met at the outside the Burroughs King's place.
Lane.
That wasn't Wayne.
No, Lane.
Lane, yeah, Captain Lane. As we were invited, we noticed the strange texture on the people's cracked skin. We met with Atreus Van Trueheart. We noticed that he had stances he takes while talking with him, or they. We had a conversation with a little bit of a hate with undead with Knarh. Did a little bit of window shopping around the tower we're in. When Atreus dropped his title, there was a bunch of bootlicking going around. There was a failed insight check from Gruul about the Sagas that was there. We told Atreus about a saga we had, and that's how we had an audience with the Barrow King. Upon meeting the Barrow King, we saw another Jewish circle similar to the one that Telry messed with. We also figure out that the Barrow King's also the father of Matheria. That's pretty big. We allianced with the Barrow King for now. Rome learned the title of the gladiator from the statue. We had a bathroom meeting room with the Barrow King's decisions and our ideas. We came back the next day and figured we saw the Barrow King doing some druid magic, but he's not a druid. Then last thing was he threw the Sagas into the ground.
To the ground?
Yeah, didn't it like went into the
In the air.
No,
threw it
he,
up and then
he threw it up and it's floating above him.
oh
He was.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't. He could throw it into the ground and they
Yeet into the ground.
He
I
didn't.
thought it,
No,
I'm pretty sure I heard it went into the ground when I was rewatching the recap.
It released energy.
energy
into the
went
ground.
into the
Oh,
ground.
that's why. Okay,
And,
I'll skim through it. So
You also skimmed through, you guys agreeing to help him with the downfall of a bunch of other really important stuff. I think.
Yeah.
You know what,
Yeah.
Chrome? I think your story's valid.
I think he was too worried about the bootlicking message that the moment he was given the opportunity, he also joined forces with them. So he didn't want to contradict his own story or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's my side of the story, not their side.
I see. How silly of me.
Very good.
As
Yeah,
a
we
DM, I
did-
should
we
probably
did do
mention that the party agreed to assist the Barrow King in his various ventures. So, do I have so much to talk to you guys about, and I get to do so here in front of chat room.
Ooh.
So, let's talk about what the terms of your service actually are.
Oh, there are terms.
Oh yeah. You guys know when you sign up for anything and I have read the terms of service? And you know that you have
Scroll.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's one of those moments.
One of those free
boy.
trials at first.
Damn, no free trial. No, but this is... In actuality, this is what is expected of you. As of right now, you are considered to be an ally of the Barrow King, although you are not one of the Risen, as that is not a requirement to actually assist him in in his various ventures. However, you do get to decide at what level you wish to serve. That includes the most important choice. At any time, as long as you have good standing with the Barrow King, you can choose to undergo the process that will turn you into a Risen. This has this has just a lot to it. Can you guys hear me if I turn to the left here? I'm just making sure.
Yes.
Is it good? Okay.
We can't tell if you're turning to the left though.
Okay, good. That's good, because that means I can kind of wiggle around. So, if you choose to become a Risen, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. Thing number one, you will be undead. You will gain that trait. That means you gain all of the benefits of being undead, and you also gain the disadvantages of being undead. Those being that the benefits of being undead is that you don't have to eat, drink, or sleep. You also don't have to breathe. You are immune to poison. You are immune to disease. You are, I believe you're immune to stunning. And you're also immune to most mind-affecting abilities unless they specifically target undead. The disadvantage is you are undead, which means you cease aging. That means that you are susceptible to things that hurt undead, depending on the type of undead that you end up being, like specialized spells. That means you cannot walk upon consecrated ground, unless, of course, you have a bypass for that. But this is just base undead traits. Now, the Risen are different than normal undead, as they are resurrected through a process that retains not only their humanity, so to speak, your personality, but you also retain a few other benefits. First, you do not look undead, at least not immediately. Second, you gain a different interaction with exposure. Exposure works in reverse, meaning that you actually have exposure in your body, and casting spells reduces exposure. When your exposure reaches 0, you are unable to use magic and you start to starve, because the Risen feed off of exposure. So that means every time when you would take a long rest, you must expend a number of exposure points equal to half of your character level. So for you guys, that should be 2. So that's your number 1. Yeah, that's a big difference between the Risen undead and the normal kinds of undead. This means
do they hit apotheosis at 10?
Well, let me go over that.
Okay,
This means that you do not have access to apotheosis, but it does mean that you can overfeast. Overfeasting, which means when you feed beyond 10, you gain many additional benefits that is similar to an apotheosis form, but it is not quite the same. Whereas apotheosis is a temporary form that fades very quickly, but is very potent, this is more of a sort of, you could look at it as a powerful buff that you put on yourself that lasts for a long time until you expend your exposure. So, something like that. Couple of other things to keep in mind. The more powerful you become as a Risen, the more effects of the Risen that you get. It's not incorrect to kind of think of them as mana vampires, but it's not quite the same either. They don't have to drain their exposure and mana from people and creatures, although that is, of course, a very easy source of nutrients. They can drain it from the land, they can drain it from vessels, they can drain it from, anywhere where there is mana. The thing about it, though, is that the higher level you get as your Risen self, the more potent your powers and effects that you gain become, but the more taxing your Risen cost is, meaning your cost of existence. Because remember, that's every long rest you have to expend 2. And the more powerful of a Risen you become, the more expensive that gets. What I mean by that is that you can actually increase the level of your Risen part of your character, which can give you more and more evolved forms. These forms can give you things such as unnatural speed, strength, some more vampire-esque powers, such as the ability to transmorgify, flight, things like that. But it can also give you some other nifty things like natural invisibility. One of them is you can eat magic out of the air. Like as an opponent casts a spell, they get a lot of crazy shit. But the more powerful you become of a risen, the more costly it is to exist. So basically, there is a entire other set of abilities that you can take. It is also important to know, since you're getting close to that level, there is also a series of prestige classes that only risen characters can get access to. One for each of the major 4 roles. So there's that as well. But yeah, there you go. There's a lot more to it than that, but becoming a risen is pretty much it's an all-in thing. It's not something that you can go back on. So keep that in mind. Let's see here. Other things you have access to, as you are allied with the Court of the Barrow King, that means you have access to the resources that his court does. Most notably, there are 2 major benefits that you get access to. His archives, which contain all sorts of good shit in them, the sagas included, or the sagas that he has at least. And the other is that you get access to the Ghost Forge, which is this series of blacksmiths that have arisen, and they are basically producing the armaments that the risen army is using, and you will be considered a part of them, meaning that you can get access to some pretty potent gear for a massively reduced cost.
Nice.
So that's a big part of it as well.
My nipples are piercing.
Okay, the next thing is that you have a rank in his court. Right now your rank is guest. There is a maximum rank that you can achieve while you are not a risen, and there is a greater rank series that you can achieve if you are one of the risen. To be clear, you don't have to be risen to reach those higher ranks, but you do have to fully follow the Barrow King. Right now, the mark that you bear is just so that you can move through his lands unmolested and unfed upon. You are marked as his friends, and that carries a lot of weight. I should also mention that, politically speaking, that is also means you are considered enemies to certain factions, such as the Church.
Naturally.
Which I think that should be pretty obvious at this point.
Like Edgington, who would be other major enemies?
Well, I mean, anybody from the Razor Cliffs that hates undead, that knows of the Barrow King's mark, probably going to be a problem. Any other sort of witch hunters, big problem. The Church, big problem. And other political rivals to the Barrow King as he gains prominence. And basically, once people start to realize that he's awake and what he is, because right now, much of the continent doesn't even know that he is a thing yet. So.
Drat, I'm from the Razor Cliffs. I hate myself.
So.
That's
Looks
not
at Mark.
new.
Oh no, I'm cringe.
I think you're beautiful, Knarh.
Oh my god.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
That's terrible.
Just for you, Knarh, I'm becoming risen.
Oh no.
I
Okay.
won't tell you.
So, there's a lot of things that you guys can do here. The Barrow King, because you have granted him this saga, and because you are affiliated with the Bard's College, which happens to be one of the few factions that the Barrow King recognizes and considers positively, you actually... How can I explain this? You have an influence at court, right? And you can use that influence to garner certain privileges. However, you only have so much influence that you can spend with the Barrow King until you prove yourself, right? Proving yourself means that it's the more missions that you complete for the Barrow King, the higher your influence gets, and therefore the more privileges you can have. Right now, your party has a total of 3 influence, which essentially means you gain access to the things that I've mentioned. At any point in which one of your party members becomes risen, that influence increases to 4. If all of your party members are risen, it increases that influence to 6. That is an all or nothing sort of thing, though. If all but one of you are, you still only get 1.
Nice.
And that includes, like, if you're not risen but you fully commit. Basically, you take the brand. So.
And is that a prestige class in of itself, or is that like a race change?
That is a race change. So, just in case it wasn't clear, becoming a risen means that your race changes to risen, because you're undead.
Oh.
Which means that you lose whatever inherent power that your race has, but you keep your passives. So for you orcs, that means you give up orcish ferocity, but you keep whatever your passives are. And what you gain in exchange is the ability to feed off of essence. All the shit I just talked about, basically. Couple of things that we get to talk about, however. Being at 3 influence means you have access to all the things that I mentioned, but you can also take a Barrow Blessing, which is from the court itself. The Barrow Blessing has all kinds of different options, but the most important one that you can take is the Grace of the King. So the Grace of the King is a blessing that you can choose to take that if you should die, you are automatically resurrected. However, you are resurrected as a risen. So keep that in mind. It's a very, very potent combat res, but it comes with a very exorbitant price. So keep that in mind if you want to take that. But yeah, lots of stuff there.
These benefits, or these points, are party points, and they're expended as a party.
They're not expended. They're not expended.
Okay.
They are. If you have it, you get access to it. Sort of.
They're a rank.
They're a rank.
Okay. Cool.
It's how much influence that you have. See, the Barrow King has his own agenda, and the more that you prove that your actions are to his agenda, the more access he will give you.
Makes sense.
Pretty much how it works. Giving him the Saga was a very, very good step in the right direction in terms of his court and the favor that you garner there. So, this is going to be pretty much and once again, I apologize if the maps aren't done yet, but it really depends on how much time you're going to spend here, because those maps are they're going to be expensive to make, because the court is pretty elaborate. But, as we are here, you guys can get to choose what kind of stuff that you want to do. This is more of the easier way to do this is, what can we do, and I can explain, or you can tell me what you'd like to do, and I can tell you how much of that can be accomplished, and if all of it can be, and if so, how.
Okay.
So, it's just going to be an easier approach method, I think.
Can I allot? So we're gonna use this as downtime, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Rebuilding group.
This is, you can do whatever you want. You can take as much time as you require.
Okay. I'm down to. I guess my prerogative would be copy all of the sagas, copy what I can, and then probably do tattoos finally.
Oh,
and
you
the
can
rest
learn.
is up
You
to
can
you
learn
guys.
tattoos here. In fact, there's a certain tattoo style that the Barrow King has, which is grave mark. So, that's a whole nother bag of beans. So, there is one thing you should know about copying the sagas. Copying the saga down means that piece of parchment is infused with its power, right? And that means you're going to be carrying around a pretty big beacon of energy. So, keep that in mind by how many that you copy. And when I say beacon, I mean it produces exposure in and of itself, and it's pretty high. So there's a chance that if you if you carry both of them, it's probably going to set off a lot of tracking. So keep that in mind.
Do they know ways of, like, because the seal we had on the previous one, I'm assuming that kept that one under wraps?
Correct.
Does the Barrow King know how to create more seals?
Well, he would do that if you had higher influence.
Do we know the influence rank for that one?
No.
Okay.
It is more than what you have, though.
Okay. Should we leave the copies here for the travels, or are you still adamant on making sure we travel with them?
No, that's the point of the travel, effectively, is to bring the copies to the destination.
Okay.
Bringing the copies back to Mournhowl would certainly be possible in your bard's carriage.
Which
No, I don't intend
driverless.
Yeah, I don't intend to bring them back to Mournhowl for the time
He
being.
means the Izukain mission.
Yeah.
Well,
wants to
yeah,
take you north.
I know what he means, but I'm just pointing out that was the intention of the carriage, is that you wouldn't be molested. Because technically you would have diplomatic protections, because the Bard's College is part of Mournhowl, and it is technically still allied with the Pale City. The problem
So
is
definitely an option.
now there's war, so who knows, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well. So we got that. Any other questions?
That's what I'm doing. So all up to you guys.
I was gonna look into the Ghost Forge and see about getting weapon and armor upgrades. I do not have a lot of gold left, though.
Oh, and is Korka still in the area? Like outside? Korka Forka?
When you said you don't have a lot of gold, you mean you have negative gold, right? Because you still owe me.
How much did I owe you?
I believe it's 210. Let me check my Rolodex.
That was more like 50 something.
No, it's 40. You're right.
It's 40. Well then, in that case, take 40, and I have 10. I have 10 gold to my name.
We'll forget about the interest for now.
Yes.
Chrome owes me 750 though. Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I really think
He's just gonna find it though.
I really think the situation between Marlowe and Chrome is going to be like Tyrion and Brom. I don't really understand the rules. I lend you money and then you pay it back to me. But what if I don't? You have to. But what if I don't? What are you going to do about it? What
Write
if
me a poem about it.
Write me a poem about it.
I already have, in case you didn't pay him.
For you, I can't read. I'm just kidding.
It's so funny. What are you gonna do? Write a poem about it? I actually have. In case you have. That's funny.
Lantern bridges always pay their debts. Yes. Yeah.
No.
So I take that as a no about the Korka thing?
No.
He got us
Yeah,
here,
he
and then
said
left.
he'd fuck off.
Yeah, he's not there. He told you he wasn't gonna be there. You are
No.
in Vampire Land. Negative. He rode Abigail back to Alderfife.
I think he'd like it here, though, you know?
They seem alright. I guess I'll join you at the Ghost Forge since I don't have a crossbow anymore. Well, a good crossbow.
Korka's got a nice crossbow now.
Yeah, left it in his boat.
Well, I mean, he has it, but that doesn't mean he stole it. He'll give it back to you. He's just not gonna stay
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, I get that. But he
One
has
day,
it, and
one
he's
day,
not
Gruul
here.
will be reunited with his glorious crossbow.
It's nice. It's almost out of charges, though. So, you know.
Alrighty. So, I got two that want to go to the Ghost Forge. Let's do that first. Sure. Sounds good.
Okay.
I already got a masked wear kilted glaive. I'm good.
What's up, bro?
I'll draw along and see what's going on.
See if there's any cool weapons.
You might as well all go and
Yeah.
see what's going on. So
Here we go.
I love this song. Okay, let's do this. As you walk down the Barrow King's court, a page escorts you while the Barrow King deals with other political matters. He has requested, however, that you take your time and enjoy your stay, and that when you are ready, he will have tasks for you to complete. The page, which in this case appears to be a shriveled half-skeleton, will lead you through the various courts, the ancient marble halls, and the somewhat sunken bridges, until finally he leads you to an area that is almost like a swamp slathered onto the side of a big hill, a mountain perhaps at one point, that has been kind of cracked down in on itself. And here you see a curious-looking forge. Two great spectral arms rise up out of the forge and seem to be pulling down rock and stone. And in the center, an intense blue heat surges outwards from it. And in front of it, you see a risen dwarf. His eyes sparkle with like blue gems amidst a night sky. His skin blackened, perhaps from soot or perhaps from death, you're not quite sure. His beard, however, seems to have remained vibrant, an intense blonde, a contrast to the colors of his skin and eyes. As you approach, you can see that this dwarf appears to be quite larger than his kin. Not only wider, but taller. As you approach, he stands at a massive 5 foot. Hands upon his hips and his lacquered apron moves out in front of him. He will then gesture towards the page. "Is this the lot the king wanted me to take care of?" The page, lacking a bottom jaw, nods profusely and then bows, gesturing to the lot of you. "All right then, come here. And how can I help you breathers, huh?"
Could do some gearing up and checking of your wares.
I bet you could. Lucky for you, the Barrow King's taken a liking to you. He's requested that your first order's free. So what do you want? And don't make it too much.
Well, I'm in the need of a new crossbow. Have you got it?
Yeah, what kind of crossbow?
Got some selections of the heavier sorts?
I don't got any made, but I could make you one. What do you want?
What do you got? Or what kind of specifications can you give it? Anything unique?
Yeah. What do you want?
Well, I'm pretty good at making enemies bleed and got a scatter shot. I guess something that to assist with either its raw damage, I guess.
The dwarf looks at you with an incredulous look. Is that all?
Well, I noticed this thing is called Ghost Fire. Is that something specific to this place? Or an effect?
It's something that I could do, yeah.
Good. Alright, how about you do that?
You sure you want that?
Is there any negatives to doing that?
Well, considering you're alive, it's not gonna work very well.
Oh, do you have to be arisen for it to work?
Well, you don't have to be arisen, but you don't have to be dead.
Here, what did you want Telry? I'll think about this for a sec.
All right. Well, since the Barrow King is being so generous, I've been looking into a nice set of half plate,
Okay?
And I don't... Pardon my ignorance when it comes to intricate forgery, but is there anything that could be done to make it protect me from magic and the like?
What, you want something anointed?
Is that the only way?
No, I was just saying that we don't do that here.
Fair enough.
If you want something real proper against magic, then you're gonna want something that's hag-hexed. That's pretty expensive. I suppose I could let it slide. The Barrow King was pretty clear to make sure that your first request was fulfilled, but I ain't gonna do nothing more to it than that.
Hag-hexed. What would that do exactly?
So, hags, hex people, but their hexes don't work on themselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to curse the metal, and then we're going to cover it with a protective balm so that you can wear it. Technically, you'll be walking around with a cursed piece of metal, which means that a hag's hex is less effective against you because it's already hexed.
So it works against hags, but...
Well, not just hags. They're not the only ones that use curses.
Oh, cool. Well, that sounds good to me. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds very generous indeed. And I'll be sure to double thank the Barrow King.
Right.
And yourself, of course.
Well, since it's armor, do you want any embroidery on it? Filigrees? Do you have a heraldry you want?
No. Unless... No, just regular is fine.
Not the god of chaos and madness.
What was that?
No, I'm just giving my friends some shit.
Just snark. Don't mind him.
Can I get it in black?
Yeah.
That'll do then.
You got it. He kind of just writes down the order.
Well, I had a bit of a thought on my...
Oh, did you?
So,
Did it hurt?
every moment I have to keep talking to new people. But, nonetheless, I've noticed that I've had an issue with people not bleeding or stopping themselves from bleeding rather easily. Do you have anything that could, I don't know, make them continue bleeding even after they've been hit? Even if they stop healing, all that kind of stuff?
What?
Anything that could make someone stop bleeding, or continue bleeding, sorry. After I hit them with the crossbow.
Maybe you should think about it a little bit more and then speak words that make sense to me.
Is there a way that I can use the crossbow to keep people bleeding, even if they use, I don't know, items, magic, or anything to stop themselves from bleeding?
Oh, you mean something that stops the bleeding from being stopped?
Yes.
Oh, let's see here. No. I can't do anything with that. Not without heavier magics. And, I ain't about to give that out to somebody who I just met, regardless of how much favor you might have with the king.
Able to mount a shield on the front of it?
His brow will furrow. Do you know how
Telry
crossbows work?
Groan.
Yeah.
Do you? Really? If you put a shield in front of it,
Yeah.
yeah. How is that gonna work exactly?
Well, cut it out around it.
Oh, so you mean cut half the shield off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't
Well,
much of a shield, is it?
It's wishful thinking.
You know, Gruul, if you're just looking for a shield to hide behind, you could get yourself like a pavis or something, a shield that you stab into the ground and then you stand
Wow,
behind
look
it
at
and
that!
crossbow.
Little one's got a good idea. It's called using a shield.
I have a question. Would you have any personal recommendations for my friend here who needs
Yeah,
a
an education.
firearm? Well, a
Look,
firearm who would be fired by somebody who has mental difficulties.
Firearm.
Like deal tremendous. Yeah, it's a bow or a projectile launcher.
you can probably count the amount of schools and the ice flows in one hand.
Anyway, he'll roll his eyes into the
Did they not
infinite.
say firearms here?
No, it's a firearm.
That was a launcher.
I think they say arms.
Yeah.
Pick up your arms. And your...
Anyway, he continues past that. All right, look. I could make crossbows. I could make I could make bolts. Do you have a crossbow?
Yes, I have a crossbow.
Let me see it.
He'll hand over his old crossbow.
Ain't nothing wrong with this. What's wrong with this?
Well, I was hoping to it to be worked by a master, and then possibly...
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Look. Here's what I could do. I could either work on the crossbow, or I could make you a bunch of bolts. Like different kinds, you know, whatever passes your fancy. Or I could make a quiver. It's really up to you.
Oh, what could you do with a quiver?
He'll just look at you. A lot I could do with it. I could make it to... Dude, you would be the most frustrating. You would be the most frustrating customer.
He would, yeah.
Dude, why don't you
Knarh's
go
just slowly walking away.
Gruul, do you want arrows that pierce, that explode?
Tell you what.
perhaps?
Tell you what.
My arrow's
Tell-
already pierced. My
Tell
arrow's
you what.
already exploded.
How about this? I'll make you a quiver, alright? And it has different compartments for different kinds of bolts. So that you could more easily switch between your different fire pieces, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what kind of bolts do you want? I can make you probably 5 different kinds.
I have enough piercing arrows as I currently stand. I could certainly use a larger amount of shatter arrows. Anything that does, I don't know, some form of magical damage or crushing, perhaps.
I can make it do fire. I can make it do frost. Kiss of lightning, maybe.
I will take the lightning arrows and the quiver. Thank you.
The man just frustratingly just writes some shit on the parchment.
I'm gonna save his sanity. Chrome, did you want to talk to him?
Yeah, Mister, I work with 2 axes, and one of them's masterwork and one of them's not. You have any suggestions what makes them more lethal?
Let me see the
Sorry,
masterwork one.
I hand over the masterwork.
That's not bad work for a breather. You want them to be paired?
That gives the twin property?
Paired in this case means that they work together.
What does that do?
So that means if you hit a target with one, then the other one can hit and something else can happen. Magical
Sure, why
effect,
not?
things like that. Alright, cool. He'll kind of look at his axes and he'll put them down. Look at the masterwork one. I'll have to take some of this off as he gestures towards the X, to make sure they're balanced right. He'll have to remove the current property to add the new ones.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. What is the current property of your
Should be just hilt.
tilt? Okay. Okay. Anyone else?
Knarh, did you not want something?
No, just kind of glares at Telry. No.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's free, kind of.
Already have a masterwork glaive.
Do you have any properties on them?
Hilt.
That's pretty good for you.
Well, if you change your mind, I'm here. I'm gonna get to work on this now.
Alright.
Do you know where somebody might be who be good at making tattoos? I'd like to hone my craft a bit.
There's plenty of arcanists in the court. You might try speaking with Edwina, I think. She might help you.
Edwina Lake?
No, Edwina. I don't know her last name. She's got one of them elvish names.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
No,
Alright.
are you sure you don't want to ask about, special robes or anything? I know you're not really keen on armor or anything, but
He's a blacksmith. Don't you think he's making robes?
What makes you think I
Well-
can't make robes?
Yeah, Telry.
I believe he's fully capable. That's why I'm suggesting it. He's a craftsman.
Forced smile. No, thank you, sir.
All right. Back to work for me then.
Yeah, this intermittent silence is like really freaking me the fuck out. I'm gonna go to the court. Catch you guys later.
Tink.
I'll probably follow you. I think I'm going to drive this man insane.
Sir, do you mind if I stay and watch your process? I'm a little bit of a smith on the side. I am curious.
Sure. That sounds great.
Cool. I'll hang over here. You won't even notice me, I promise. It'll be fine. And I proceed to ask him like a million questions.
Great.
I'm gonna go over
Knarh, a second of your time. When we're alone.
Oh. Oh my.
Alright.
He's making his move. He's making his move. It's happening.
If you hit on my wife, I'm gonna be so pissed.
It's not what you think. It's I'm actually
Boom.
giving you a heads up on about picking up the risen effect on myself. Yeah. Giving you a heads up. I'm not looking for your acknowledgement about it. But before I do it, I'll let you know that I am considering it.
If you don't care while you're telling me.
That's so that it's not a surprise for you.
Not like you can do any worse. Hmm. You're already making deals with darker entities and such. I don't like it here. I don't like seeing skeletons, missing jaws, wandering around. It's wrong. It's all wrong.
Mm,
My issue with it.
perhaps it's the new normal. It's
That's not normal.
the world is changing.
I don't care.
That's it's fine if you don't. It's going to change no matter what, you like it or not.
Doesn't mean I have to follow along. You know what you want. You've done it before.
Yeah, of course. But it's just something I don't have. Time is not my biggest foe, but it's concerning. I don't have much. I'm pretty old, and eventually I'm gonna start slowing down. I don't want to be that burden on you guys.
Just when the time comes, make sure you're actually dead.
Yeah, I'll make sure. Don't worry
Make
about
sure
it.
you can actually move on. That's all I want. If you're going to turn into some other thing, or you're gonna follow some other god and all that stuff, make sure you die the way you want to die, and make sure that you actually are dead and can move on to the afterlife. You've said that there are people you're hoping to meet. You've said you've seen some rainbow bridge. Make sure you get there.
Well, to be honest, I have to be considered dead to go there, and if I am already dead, what's stopping me from visiting back and forth?
I don't know. It's out of
This
my
is-
wheelhouse.
This is more of an experiment than an actual, so I'm just seeing what I can do before.
I suppose,
But-
in a sense, I should be glad you're trying to tell it to me and ease me into it, but
Well, I'm not sitting here to get your okay. It's more of a I'm not trying to surprise you in the next couple months.
yeah, and I suppose I should be grateful for that. Still, I like it.
Yeah, I just consideration about it. That's all I had to say.
It's better than Telry, I'll tell you that much.
He's a learning boy. He'll pick it up eventually.
Eventually might be too late. All that stuff.
I don't think so. Sooner or later he'll be knocking on his doorstep. But that's all I have to say. You enjoy your evening.
You're a good orc. You're a good orc, Chrome. Care about you.
I ain't gonna be an orc no longer.
You know, Gruul, I actually really like this place.
Yeah.
Something about the architecture.
It's calming and exciting at the same time. Weird. Aesthetico.
It's like a positive macabre nouveau, you know?
No. No, I don't.
You know exactly
Waymaker
what I mean.
said. Has anyone understood the words you said?
It's like a refreshing Gothic.
I'm watching a blacksmith. I'm not there.
Alrighty. So, Marlowe, where would you like to go?
Looking for a Dame Edwina.
Well, as you make your way through the court, a nearby page will look at you with half of his head caved in. Upon requesting the name, Edwina, you are led to another part of the Bear King's court. Here, where all of the arcanists have gathered, each one of them having a different circular set of stones set up much like a pantheon. Or not a pantheon, a Parthenon, excuse me. A series of stone pillars and a great stone roof and an open-air sort of building can be seen. And each one of them kind of has their own miniature version of it. The intoxicating smells of salts and spices and all sorts of other strange concoctions can be sensed as you ascend the stone steps. Eventually, you come to a place where you can see that there are an illustrious series of parchments stretched over the stone steps. They're not steps, but stone walls, and they appear to be drying paints, and it also appear to be actual paintings that are placed on the ground. Eventually, you happen upon a woman with long blue and gold hair that seems to be wrapped in on itself. The blue definitely appears to be as if some kind of magic mutation. As you approach, you can see that her smiling lips are completely devoid of any signature of any of the undead power that courses through her. However, her legs and the tips of her fingers appear to have bony protrusions that can be seen through the elegant folds of her dress. She will gesture for you to join as the page attempts to introduce you by saying, "Guest Marlowe."
Yes, thank you.
And then he will almost fall over off of his own legs as he bows, his hands scraping the ground as he moves away.
Marlowe will bow back, and then we'll turn and say, might you be Lady Edwina?
Indeed I am. Greetings, salutations, Vendoros and Venicus. Welcome, 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 welcome. I have been told of your arrival. The Barrow King has made sure that the crafters of my kin know that you are a friend and guest of the court, and that you should be helped. So, how can I help you today, dear breather?
It's much appreciated. I was interested in honing my craft in the art of tattooing. As you can see, my face and back and hands.
Oh yes,
like
of
to
course.
Like to follow up on a theory I had about imbuing them with mana and the storage of spells.
Come in, come in. I have just the person for you to speak of. I myself am an artist, but I'm not so much with the art of skin and grafting of colors. I'm more of the more traditional artistry, but I know just whom you can speak to. My dear friend Aegir. And she will step and stand in front of what appears to be an entire wall of stretched human skin with a face in the center, covered with illustrious tattoos all around. Aegir, this is Marlowe, guest of the Barrow King. He has come to seek your knowledge of the tattooing art. Oh god, hold on a second. Oh, what's that you say? Marlowe? Is that your name, my son?
Yes, you're Aegir?
Aegir is my name, but you can call me Eddie if you wish. That's what all my friends call me, after all.
Yes, well met, Eddie.
Yes, good, good. Come, take a seat. Please sit and appropriate so I can actually see you. I have no neck in which to move my head.
Marlowe will do so. Cross-legged in front of him.
Oh, now I've been informed that you wish to procure your tattooing arts, yes?
Yeah, it's to work on something. Had a few.
Wonderbar! Excellent. So, first, what kind of skills do you possess? Please demonstrate them on papier.
Do you want me to draw something?
Yes, show me your skills.
Should I do a performance check?
Sleight of hand?
Okay. Do you have calligrapher's tools or any other tool set?
I have a scribe, Masterwork scribe kit, and I have training in it.
Good. Roll that.
Is it just D20? Do I add mods?
It's D20 plus your level plus your proficiency.
Uh, 23.
My goodness! Quite a bit of skill that you possess. Look at your lines and edgings are quite well done. The shadowing looks like it could use a little work, but it's there. The talent is there. My goodness, my boy. Quite well done indeed. Yes, I believe you will make a fine apprentice to the tattooing arts.
Thank you.
You are most welcome. Now, the Barrow King has informed us that you are friends of the court, so therefore I will be willing to give my expertise for the low cost of... As he kind of gestures his eyes over to see if Edwina is watching. Come a little closer, lad.
Is it like a sexual favor thing?
What? No.
Never mind. Okay.
Is that what breathers are doing now?
Nice. Anyways.
Technically speaking.
Marlowe will lean in.
Technically speaking, these particular services are supposed to be free for the first time, but I think you and I could come to an agreement. You see, Edwina insists that I eat only consumed food, as I do not have the ability to eat it myself. Now, what she has forgotten is that we are both risen, and we do not have any need to eat. However, I still possess the ability to taste. Despite this, I am not allowed on the breather side of the court, specifically where they make that delicious bacon. If you could please procure for me 2 strips of that succulent treasured meat, I would be happy to provide my services.
So you want me to smuggle you bacon so that you can...
Yes.
Sure. Is there any other reason you can't have bacon?
Well, I don't have hands.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go grab that then.
Excellent, my boy. So be sure to grab that silver salt and all the other ingredients that I require to show you my trade. I believe the last of our bits should be found somewhere near the breather side of the galley.
Oh, wait. In terms of the actual ingredients, I have silver salt. I got a ton of shit here.
Oh, it looks like he already has it. He looks at you with a look that says, you fucking idiot.
Oh, is there anything else I should get?
Good! It looks like you have everything you need. We can begin immediately.
Well, no, I was gonna go grab you that thing. But in terms of the tattoos, is there anything else I should get that's, like, not just simple silver salt? Any other...
You've probably been very tired from your travels, no doubt famished. why not stop by the gallery and get yourself something to eat, so that way
No,
we
I
can...
know I have to fucking do that, but any other materials that I need from
You're
it,
blowing
I don't want
it!
to make two trips.
Stop!
I don't want to make two trips.
Edwina now appears at the edge. You'll get him nothing. Anything that you need, write it down here. Fine.
Well, no, I was gonna go get some supplies for him.
I'll go get the supplies. Do not let this piece of meat trick you.
Wait, is he not allowed to have bacon?
No, and he knows why. Dastardly woman! Must you
Well, how
always be in my way of my great power? He believes
Was I gonna be played for a fool?
He believes that bacon lets his hands and arms and legs grow back. It does! I can feel it!
I mean, is there any harm in giving it to him?
Well, unfortunately, we were unable to cure one of the several side effects of being risen, at least in the early days and stages. Unfortunately, he still has not had his more bestial hungers dealt with. Cannibalism, specifically. It's not cannibalism if they're already dead!
Is he a pig?
No. The bacon he wanted you to get is not bacon. At least.
Oh, is it people meat?
Indeed.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, you should have everything you need here. And if you need anything else, let me know.
Will
Act
do.
right,
I'm
Egan.
still confused.
Act right,
Apologize.
Egan. Teach the breather what he wants to know. Fine, you dastardly woman! Fine!
Is it bad to give him people meat?
Yes, and she will leave.
Okay. Why are you trying to fuck with me, man? You getting me to do your dastardly deeds? If you wanted to, just be straight with me from the get-go.
Well, I didn't know what kind of breather you were.
One that doesn't understand the context of bacon or supplies or any. I'm new here, man.
It wouldn't have mattered in either case. It's not like any people you knew.
Well, I don't care if you eat people. It's none of my business.
Oh. Good. Anyway, get out your book and turn it to page 3.
Alright, so I got this spell called Magic Pebble. I want to be able.
No, you're one of them.
What do you mean, one of them?
One of the various people that use that spell and put it into weapon. He explains your whole build.
Oh yeah, I want to throw rocks. Because I've been throwing darts, but it feels too aggressive, you know?
I want to throw rocks. Alright. Okay, so you spent some time with a actual stretched piece of skin. Alright, what about the rest of you? Anything?
Time to get risen.
Oh, you're going for it?
Yeah.
Alright, Chrome is looking for the Riz. Anybody else doing anything?
I was gonna go to the archive actually.
Okay, and do what?
I was gonna look up if they had more on curses.
Well, as you arrive at the archive, you are greeted by the librarian, which appears to be a robed man holding his own head in a cage. Hello.
Hi.
Greetings.
Alright.
Welcome to the archives of the Barrow King. We should really work on that naming, I know. Sounds pretentious. But in either case, welcome. Welcome. Is there a tome, scroll, or manuscript that I could help you with?
Nothing named, but I have wondered if you have any information on curses or their removals.
Oh, we have many sources of information on curses. What kind of curses? There's Geronimo's explanation of the linear curse. There's Bo Jenkins' curses of the sexual organs. Or my personal favorite, Gimme Jin's payback time.
Anything that's not lineage, but wound related?
Wound, you say? Oh, yes, of course. Come with me to the exsanguination section.
Lovely.
All right, and the librarian will move very, very slowly.
I guess I'll start taking in all the sights around me.
I wanted to go to the archive too.
Well, you're learning about tattoos.
I wanted to go there.
Looking all, I guess he'll just like look at all the different shelves, the names, different books as he's walking past.
So the archives are actually located near the back of the Barrow King's court. It is actually a singular stone tower that is connected to each of the other parapets. It actually goes up the rising section. However, it is precariously leading as much of the structure is still sinking into the swamp, albeit very slowly. So, as you start to walk up the stairs, you notice that at some point things start getting a little slanted. And it is at this point the librarian takes you within a room that appears to be barely attached to the rest of the tower. And here, he will say, "This is our medicine section. I'm sure you will find all sorts of wound-related information, and the curses therein."
Thank you.
You are most welcome. Remember, any tome that you pick up should be put back in its rightful place.
He'll nod.
Be sure that you do so.
I will do that, yes.
Good.
Is he just going to sit there staring at me?
No, he walks away. But only after staring at you for longer than is comfortable.
Right. I'm going to have to get used to these people. They're friends now.
Okay, you're nerding it up. Anybody else want to do anything?
I'm probably gonna just go watch poor Chrome turn into a horrible monster.
It'll be your monster. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know if I should say this above board, but are you gonna get breakfast risen?
I was gonna ask about it. I was like,
Okay.
don't you just get risen?
Risen bacon.
Well, remember, he stops aging, so he'd be little tiny forever.
You can like transform eventually, right? She just gets more stronger than me, right?
Yeah, with a reputation, I think he can fly at some point.
Impossible.
Risen bacon.
We need to give the pig bat wings so he can fly.
But
Man.
no, it's just spider ham all over again.
Let's see. What else? What else could we do? I know I've been watching the Smith do his thing, but eventually I get bored because he stops answering my questions. So I'm gonna wander about. Where do I want to go? I'm gonna go down some random hallway, Arcadum. Where do I wind up?
Okay. Well. All right. Eventually, somehow, you find yourself in near the center of the Barrow King's court, but above where he actually actively holds court. Here, you can see that the sagas that you've been seeking are sitting there, floating in space, like the air. Sorry, not like astral space.
Huh.
They seem to be emanating a potent sense of energy, and you can see that a third one has been added.
Well, there they are, and we're getting copies made at some point. That's good. Do they like swirl in cool patterns, or do they just hover there neatly?
No, they're emanating potent energy. Do you have Arcana trained?
I don't believe so. No, I don't.
Hold
Interesting. Oh no.
Hi, I'm the one with the Arcana train.
Staring as one of your friends irreversibly becomes a monster before your very eyes.
Yep.
Yo, what the fuck did you type in chat?
Don't vomit, don't vomit, don't vomit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Orcish.
Yep.
Yo, that's awesome.
Okay, so
I was gonna say, why are you speaking Orcish to the pig?
as you step up in front of the Sagas, you feel a strange wriggling in the back of your mind. You've never actually seen what these Sagas are, barely having any knowledge of what they could be. You have a deep temptation, a burning
Oh, it's
curiosity to look inside one of them.
No, I'm sure we'll probably know that's later in the schedule. We're writing those down. I just kind of say to myself, no, not without the group. And I walk away from them.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you like to go anywhere else?
I'm gonna go find Knarh and probably Chrome. Yeah, I'll be with them when they're doing their thing.
Just to see me traumatizing myself.
If it helps, I'm not gonna do that. I thought about it. It sounded interesting at first, and then the more I talked to people, the more I realized that breakfast just wouldn't be the same anymore, you know? So I don't think it's for me, but if Chrome's gonna do it, then Chrome's gonna do it.
What are you talking about? I haven't told you anything.
I don't know. What are we doing here? Hey guys, what's up?
You mumbling stuff again? Telry?
Yeah, I saw the Sagas back there. I got pretty close to them, and yeah, they're still there.
You were tempted.
Yeah, a little, but no, that's later. That's other stuff. We'll figure it out when the time comes. Do you guys see the others anywhere?
No, this place is pretty big. I had some questions about some transformation. I'm just looking for that.
Transformation is in the risen thing?
Yeah, I was gonna get breakfast, be undead.
But why? He's big. Look at him. He's happy.
Yeah, he's gonna be an undead pig.
Okay. I mean, I guess we weren't planning on eating him in the long run anyway. He's become one of the family and all that. I guess he'd stay small and cute forever. It was unless they don't stay cute. Unless they gotta eat, right? They gotta like eat energy. How is he gonna get it?
Nothing's forever, Telry.
Right.
Apparently, you can just eat through the land. Oh, like he does now. just eats the grass.
It sounds like you've thought this through, so cool. Yeah, have fun with that. Sounds super creepy. I'm probably not going to be around for that. Yeah, I'll just keep wandering the halls the way I do.
Okay. All right, Chrome. You want to do this?
Yeah, all in.
So be it. All right, let's do this. All right, after making your request to a page, you are led back to the Barrow Grove, where you can see that Aelin Trueheart is waiting for you. The sun is slowly setting on the horizon as darkness begins to set. Night moves in. Man. One second. No, not that one. Not that one. Cool. That does what I want it to. Nice. Alrighty.
Concerning.
As you begin
Close
to
your eyes,
approach,
Knarh.
as you begin to approach Chrome, little breakfast falls behind you, completely oblivious to what might be happening. Aelin Trueheart stands in the midst of shadow, barely illuminated by the nearby stones. Are you certain of this? If you walk this path, there is no return.
I've walked many paths, and I am certain about this one.
You are a warrior, brave, strong, true to yourself. I will not dissuade you, but you are not the only warrior to have taken this path. I shall give you the same warning that I gave them. You shall seek eternal life. You will be denied the succor of death. You will be denied the gift of death. You will be denied what awaits all those who serve by the sword. Do you understand?
Chrome breathes in. Yes, I've thought about what I've seen and what's beyond, but I don't think my life is supposed to be there. I think I'm supposed to stay behind.
As you wish. Stand within the circle.
I have a weird request. Does the Risen work on creatures?
Indeed. Is this your companion?
Yeah, you can say something like that. Been together for quite some time. If I'm gonna take this road, a company wouldn't be so bad about it.
If that is your path, then your companion shall walk with you. For every knight needs his steed. Step forward.
Just walk.
Give me just a second. All right. As you step forward onto the central circle, Chrome, you will feel energy start to pulse around you, towards you, away from you, shifting and twisting all around you, to the point that you're not even quite sure where it's coming from. The Barrow King watches you through the swirling light. He offers not pity towards you, but respect for the path you take cannot be undone. And so it is that as the magic locks itself into place, the Barrow King raises his hand in front of him and speaks the ancient words of those that came before.
Are you guys making noise?
No.
Oh shit. Okay.
So
I'm waiting for a dramatic timing. Which is kind of been spoiled now. So anyway. The magic locks in. And the words are spoken. Venis sos, stano venis, vid anekos denen wein, te kanakin thrusten rein, vin anes kont kalketes vetenikal vin anesan, igdra silvas in verekel wein, Indra hilda shalkai venis indra vai, indo menos enatos, vento lesta corvanis al vintranais. Vin hols I trein toltometinst, in kont herman nir slida stundoren, in ranamas et onis. In krontin horn sikai, it hannes kalkatesh, in tolentelo vintores igdra silventoresinda, Indra eldar shalkai vennorspinda kain. Hindole conte de colvonis vi colemetais. Disol valentin shalgitoric. Indrakals indromanes. Eltramakt. Elklenkrakt. Ev klost in a Christ. With that, you will start to rise up, floating above the stone circles. Vindraimonis, ki an esinenhold, binoreman ekonet san te on efetis tanamanast, irkast, irnast, tortemanast, ikoman ilslasista de mahit, Hund kenas giktar veratum, giktor mestistar verum takas, indomanis enakakist, il rasan kentas. Your breath grows shallow. Your skin grows pale. Then anin the sinayand. Eaios in on emanas, ek sin tonomenes, in ton dea sin valos. At this point, your arms and armor are removed. Your face is covered in a bright light, shifting and twisting all around you. Inton pietas vicon elistonos iraton itahia kirmomanistarotos ikaratat kalkatesh irapanos terrain irakatos Te Yggdrasil, Ygramatos, te Gulvanis, Ygratatoromenes, Eklomaktes. Elda Sharkaiman idois dinan mintas, Sentroman, Elentas, Irman, Actes, Tan es, das Lorn, das Gwena, das Siloe, das Weinsk, das Entolons, es Weinsk et Konsk et Gwena, bin Ors et Nos et Vats, ten nos da Veren, ten nos, das Grid Tarakronum, Esom Tetnas Talvor Tachitarakal. And with that, piece by piece, the living life within Chrome is pulled away, piece by piece, stripped, torn, and taken. And there are two pieces, Chrome's body and Chrome's soul. And slowly it is twisted into twine and sewn back into the body, into the meat and bone of the vessel it once bore. There is a cost to strength and to power of this kind. And now that cost, whether it is worthy or whether it is not, has been paid. And as the light shifts, slowly Chrome begins to descend. As he does so, the light shifts and twists around him, before finally Chrome is born a second time.
That was a bit different from a lot of things.
Rise, Risen. You're one of us now.
It seems I am now. Perhaps it's shock, perhaps it's just the adrenaline kicking in. It's a bit different. I just have to get some time to use to get to this new transformation. I would need some time.
You should know that you have left your old name behind. The creature known as Chrome is dead. I have a name to give you.
What is that name?
Veneth Tyr.
What does this name mean? It's just
Veneth Tyr means avenging blade. For like a vengeance, you will wreak yourself upon the pale city and all that follow in that fouled light. Let them gaze upon you, brother, and know fear, and know that their punishment is deserved.
we're taking this name. I will own this name as my own. Chrome is no longer Chrome. I am Venetia.
And so it is, and so it shall be. rise.
Throne stands. He takes in the new world he's in now.
When you are ready, seek me out. I shall have your first tasks. Get used to your body, for things are different now.
Much appreciated. I'll come seek you before we set off.
And with that, you are dismissed. Wow. So that pretty much wraps up everybody's first day.
Nice.
Wait, what happened to breakfast?
Breakfast breakfast looks the same. For now.
Interesting.
You gotta make him a higher tier risen for the Batwings first.
All right, so Chrome, we got a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because you have taken this path, there is, oh man, there's so much shit. Ugh. Okay, so first things first, you are currently a gladiator, yes?
Yeah.
Well, if you wish, you may take the subclass Knight and be retrained into it for free. But not as the normal Knight. You'll be given access to a special subclass called Barrow Knight.
Gotcha.
Barrow Knight functions the same as Knight, except it has one very big difference. First, you receive a magical steed that will follow you on your adventures, and it works just like a paladin steed. And your steed will be breakfast.
Okay.
However, once you summon breakfast, they will transform from their friendly little form into a massive hog that you can ride into battle.
Like He-Man.
Hog rider.
Like Telry.
Yeah. I'll take the Barrow Knight.
Okay. This also gives you access to the prestige class, which is Barrel Lord, which is pretty fucking sick.
One step closer, I see.
One step closer. Hog rider. Absolutely wild. Alrighty. You guys decide what you want to do next. I'll be right back and go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay. I'm just gonna continue my mild panic attack over here.
You gonna join me in the archives there, Marlowe? Or are you gonna still be tattooing until you're done?
I kind of wanted to spend like a day doing the tattoo shit.
Yeah, we did day one.
Just knock it out.
Right,
I don't like this guy. No offense.
You mean you don't like the flesh on the wall that talks?
No, that's fine. It's the fucking lying to me about bacon.
It's like, bro,
Yeah, it's like I
you
can't
need
trust
to eat
him.
people. Just tell me you want to eat people. It's like,
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You think I, of all people, am gonna judge you?
Not even just that. Marlowe's a big boy. He can take the truth.
I love the moment where you walked into that room and I just immediately like, oh, is this gonna end up like the manor? We're just gonna run into a bunch of eccentric nobles.
Yeah, it was 50-50 on it.
And it looks like the answer is yes.
I do want to go to the archive and then see the sagas, do all that shit. But,
Yeah, but you gotta finish up what you're doing.
we'll see when he gets back. Actually, I'm on PP too. Haha.
Yeah, me too. Alright, what are you guys gonna do?
I feel like
I'm
it would
so
be.
in shock.
Yeah, I'm interested in being around Marlowe while he's copying the sagas, but at the same time, I know where my temptations lie, and that would probably be unwise. 'Cause I might slip. I might not want to do that. What should I do? What would be the most practical use of my time?
I have no idea what to tell you.
Depends how long we're gonna stay. How long do we plan to stay here? It's the question.
Well, it depends on how long it takes to copy down the sagas, I suppose, and how many trips we want to do it in. Because if we're just taking both of them up north, or a copy of all three of them up north to do whatever Marlowe needs to do, I don't know if we want to do that all in one trip, or if we want to minimize the amount of exposure that would do by doing a couple back and forths.
Also, don't you need to acquire a vehicle?
Well,
Acquire mode of transportation.
I mean, I could summon my dog, but if I'm honest, I don't know if it will still be him. In fact, I'm relatively sure it won't.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, while I could summon something just to ride it around, I don't actually get any detriments to not riding something.
Uh-huh.
The ground just feels wiggly, and I don't like it, but it doesn't hurt me not to ride something.
Is this in game or is it out of game?
Yeah, no, we're talking.
It's light RP, not like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gruul, are you suggesting that you want to see what kind of horrible monstrosity I might be able to summon now?
It's more of like a reaffirmation of my guesses, but... I'm
back from my PP potty.
nice. I mean, maybe Knarh can do her summoning. She's been talking about that for a bit. They're not doing it. You can do it.
In the zombie lands?
In the friendly zombie lands.
Are you conjuring creatures?
Considering it. But that's not going to take all day, so...
I mean, there's a lot of people here, rather adept at magic, who probably don't have the right to be judging too much right now. You could probably ask one of them if they could assist you in summoning and make sure you don't blow the whole place up.
I mean, they are definitely...
They feed off of mana.
Yeah,
They'll
they
just
are
eat
pretty...
your...
So maybe they can make sure you don't, explode with magic
That would be interesting.
when you summon something.
That's an idea, actually, just in case, because as it stands right now, if it still is Sir Bernard, which it may not be, that would definitely be an apotheosis thing for me. To be inconvenient if we're trying to, be leaving here anytime soon and trying to keep a low profile. So yeah. I'll look for.
I
somebody
don't
to do that.
think low profile is our thing.
I don't think it's any of our things at this point.
I think our only reason we got here unmolested is because we had a giant thing on top of us that said, don't attack us or make a giant political issue out of it.
Yeah. I wonder if that's been impounded.
It is almost certainly.
Well,
I mean, we did, run out of the city in front of everyone with a giant
No,
alligator.
Shaq's waiting for us back at
Warning.
the thing.
Shaps is drunk off his gourd for all we know. Alcohol poisoning is the thing. Who knows if he's even alive?
Nah, he's fine.
We have a terrible track record with saying people are going to be fine.
Nothing would
and
happen
then-
to Shaps, right?
Right.
Hey, we should probably go back. He's waiting for us.
Do you want to go back right now? Like we could probably talk to the Barrow King, be like, hey, we want to go
fuck him.
attack the church outside of Out of Five, and you'd probably be like, oh yeah, here's some stuff. Go do it.
Right.
Here's some stuff. Go do it.
Knarh, did you want to try and summon whatever you wanted to try and summon with help? Or are you looking for a different place?
I mean, they
Looks
have-
around.
A bunch of druid circles, so maybe they have a druid who could help you out.
They do have druid circles.
Or at least they're using the druid circles.
Well, someone's had to help them set them up.
I mean, I didn't have to have anybody set up the one that I touched. Who's to say this one wasn't already here?
This is their
Yeah.
land.
Ask them.
Yes.
Ask them if it's their land. Yeah, that'll go.
No. Ask them if they set up the druid circles themselves. I get the feeling that they didn't, but there's only one way to know.
I just kind of wanders away from the conversation.
Well, seeing as Matheria killed the druids and they're anti-Matheria, I think that might have something to do with them.
You know, you're on something there.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
No, guess you'll figure it out on our own. You intend on something?
Well, I might, but I definitely do want to find somebody to help with that. No, Arcadum, the Risen, they eat exposure, right? So if I was to summon my mount and say, for instance, it were Sir Bernard, and he gives me a ton of exposure, would they be able to mitigate that in a way that would not cause me to go apotheosis immediately?
Ask again?
I'm wanting to summon my mount because I've been on the floor too long, and I'm thinking of getting the help from a Risen to perhaps eat some of the exposure that I produce almost immediately from that.
So when
Because
a
if- yeah.
when a Risen eats exposure from somebody, it hurts them.
Oh,
Hmm.
well.
They're not a free exposure dump.
Nom 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 nom.
People sounding less and less like druids all the time, Gruul. Just saying.
I didn't say
Well-
they were the druids. I said they probably knew some. Or at least some of them are.
I'm gonna do it anyway. I have the capability to apotheosis at least and mitigate the potential fallout from it. So yeah, I'm gonna summon my critter, my dog probably,
Oh God.
definitely.
And where are you doing that?
Off on my own somewhere. Actually, no. I was gonna have a spotter. Is there like a mage tower here, or somebody who's particularly versed in magic?
Yeah. There's lots of people.
Great. I'm gonna talk somebody's ear off and get them to spot me while I do this, just in case something horrible happens to me. And so, let's see.
So, you're going to go to the Arcanists, and you're
Okay.
going to tell them what exactly?
I am planning to cast a spell to summon my mount familiar. And in my experience, it produces a lot of exposure. How much does eating my exposure hurt exactly? Like, is it like really, really painful?
Yeah.
Like on a scale of getting slapped to getting stabbed, because I've had both.
So here's the thing. How many hit points do you have?
Let me investigate this. 32.
You'll die.
Oh, that would be unfortunate. I do not want to do that. So, yeah, I'll probably just take care of this on my own. And I'm going to look for a secluded place.
Well, they wouldn't do it anyway. You're the Barrow King's mark.
Oh,
You're not to be
that's
fed
important.
on.
Would anybody mind if I summoned my mount here?
When you say anybody, who are you referring to?
Well, I'm just, the people here seem to be rather open-minded about magic.
They're not going to call the church on you if that's what you're wondering.
Well, my dog is kind of rude, but we are in the court. He did want to come. He did want to see it. So, I'd be remiss if I didn't call him here. That would be
They don't mind.
Rude of me.
They don't
Very
mind if you
good.
summon. Yeah, they don't care. Go ahead.
I'm
sure.
gonna do it. I'm gonna summon him.
Oh God.
Come on, Bernard. Let's go.
Oh.
Oh, silly Telry.
Haha.
You don't have access to the paladin dog anymore.
Oh no. Who could have possibly known this?
All right.
Instead of looking down upon the poor, it looks down upon the rich.
Is this the next morning?
Yeah, this is the next day.
Okay. Yeah, I fucked off then.
Yeah, we're not here. We're nerding.
Nerding.
Oh, you can point.
Oh, it's back.
Oh, the point is back. Woohoo!
It's back.
Yes. Okay, great.
I can make you feel like we're judging you again.
Judging you.
Yes. Very good. Look, my dog is gonna love this place. You'll see. I'm just like in the cloud of smoke from summoning. Definitely my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the shining darkness.
This naivety thing really got me
Finally.
over it.
Listen. After a month or more of mystery about whether it be my dog or not, now we know for a fact.
We knew.
We knew.
Knarh
We knew.
left the
But
building.
nothing is real until it's on the map. So
It was no Schrodinger's cat, buddy. We
Yeah.
knew.
we knew. Oh, also, does my Alakan goodness affect the chart? In this case as well.
Yes.
Yes.
That it is the chart.
Very good. I just summoned the angel again and it's like, hop on my back, buddy. Let's go.
Let's go on an adventure.
You can sit on my shoulder.
You boys like Mexico?
Too bad, because we're going to Brazil.
No, no, it's no. Go to Brazil. No, it's
Sim.
no.
Vamos pro Brasil.
Wait.
Wait.
Oh God, why do you do this to me?
Well, you
You
Don't
gave
worry,
the kid
I'm
a
actually-
shiny red button and told
you
him
have
not
given me the tools and told me when you feel like it, press it.
All right.
So here we are.
Oh God. All right, give me a second. I have a token to make.
Oh.
Where is it? There it is. Make this, click that, load that, select that. Okay, that looks good.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm being chaotic. Hang on. There we go.
What?
He swapped to his Brazil colors.
I got my Brazil colors. I'm ready.
He's channeling
yes.
his inner chaos gremlin.
Yes, Gaz, you're welcome. It is time for Brazil. Ah, I'm being Braziled away.
You're being taken to Brazil.
I can hear the samba already. Kadoosh, 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 kadoosh.
I just hear the light chuckling in the
Is he
background.
giggling
And
back there?
I just hear the.
How about you skadooshing over there?
What? I don't know what what.
Bro kung fu pandaing over here? Skadooshing?
Yeah. If you do it several times in repetition, it's a samba beat. Oh, this is better though.
All right, here we go. No need to roll on this one.
Oh.
All right, Telry. As you finish speaking the words, your eyes start to swirl. You can feel the wriggling might of the dark truth descend upon you. You asked for a mount, and you shall be given one. Above you, the cloudy skies part as a heap of wriggling flesh descends before you. Like a comet of sinew and viscera, it comes hurtling towards you. Moments before it strikes the ground, a pair of grisly wings made out of cartilage and bone open up at once as a creature that does have some horse legs appears before you, landing, and you see this.
Oh, I'm glad Knarh's not there.
Huh. Sir Bernard, we really have to go on Mar walks. This is not a good look for you. Sorry, that was a joke. Are you trying to talk to me? What?
Rider!
Ah, there it is. Okay, I can't say I didn't expect this. Gruul probably had a bet on it. What do I call you?
No name has this.
Great. Well then. You'll be my mount. I hope you are comfortable. You got spikes back there on your neck. I imagine you have a saddle that comes with you. My last dog had a saddle.
Its back will start to crack, bones shatter, and a small flesh pouch will be made on its back.
That'll suffice. I'm gonna climb on up on this thing, because it is mine. And it's good. Doesn't talk as much. Ha!
You're gonna put your massive dong on his flesh saddle.
Yeah. There's a slot.
I like how just the spear's poking out from the back of it.
All right. How big is this thing? So give me a
It's large sized.
large.
Imagine an oxen with wings. And something that doesn't look like an oxen at all.
It's yeah.
Alright, its wings will open and it will take to the sky.
Excuse me. Where do you think we're going? Back down to the ground.
It will turn towards the Pale City.
Uh-huh.
There is a wriggling in the back of your mind, Telry.
Mm-hmm.
Make me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh. Let me see here. Nice.
Okay. Your mind is filled with visions of Mytharian knights broken beneath your salad hooves, the people dancing naked in the streets, performing all sorts of different kinds of debauchery, but enticing their freedom. Tomes in lock and key broken open, being read amongst the masses. You see Mytharian priests being strung up, hung off nooses. The creature turns towards the Pale City. But your mind is strong. You eventually wrest control of the creature's desire to fulfill Alakhanai's will. The wings open and twist and turn backwards, and you land. You land back in the court of the Barrow King's court.
In due time, creature. But not today.
Your mind is filled with the creature's wills and whims given to it by its dark master. You see the people moving through the streets, their minds shackled with the propaganda of this Mytheria. You can see that they know nothing. Babes lost in the woods, falling into pit traps and dying, but dying in a way that is beneficial to the light and therefore is acceptable. You can feel the chaotic rage against this law that binds and shackles these people and shows them nothing but a pallid existence that fits within their definitions. You hold the creature in check, but just barely. And then you feel it. A strange, wet feeling coming through your hair and over your forehead. You reach up, and you feel it. The helmet. Slowly. A growing chitin mask growing over your face. Images in your mind of a masked knight. a chaos knight, atop its quivering beast, destroying paladins bearing this phalid light, roiling in the chaos of freedom and in the truths hidden from the people. Telry, I have some stuff to tell you. While the quivering beast is summoned, that is, well, one of the parts in your chaos regalia. Do not summon the quivering beast unless you are ready to do some chaos. You were able to make the saving throw this time, but they may not be the case in each other time.
Mm-hmm.
Do not summon the quivering beast unless you are ready to cause some mayhem.
Sounds about right. And I will snap my fingers and desummon the creature.
In the air?
No,
We're on the ground.
Oh, okay.
The creature will look at you. It fades.
When it's time.
Slowly. It fades slowly. But its mind sends you many images of you and it conquering the forces of so-called good and law. A promise to be kept.
Does the helmet go away, or do I keep that?
No, it's gone. For now.
Interesting. Huh.
It was more of a mental thing anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Be right back.
good to know. And I'm going to sit here in the field for a little while and make little circles and little crowns out of grass because I've got some thinking to do. What's everybody else doing?
Watching it.
I'm glad I wasn't there.
Weren't you watching Chrome? Or, well, I guess Veneth Tier?
This-
I'm back.
It's a cool fucking spaghetti horse you got there, dude.
Nice spaghetti horse, bro.
You talking to me?
It'd be great when you're like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Hello, my name's Ted."
Yeah, I'm just braiding grass, thinking.
All right.
All right. So what are you guys up to?
If the tattoo stuff is over, then I'd go with Gruul, the archives,
What would you like to research?
the sagas. I'd like to copy those down.
Okay.
First read and then decide which to copy down first in terms of the exposure burden.
Well, first things first, we have some lore to drop. Now, granted, much of what you're reading is in languages and passives and ciphers that aren't super clear. Most notably from the ones that you've read before. But it's time to add more pieces to the puzzle. Give me a second while I get all this open.
Oh, hey, Marlowe. You doing the scrolls now?
Yes, I'm doing the scrolls. How are you doing?
Gross.
Oh, more research on Mama's plight, you know?
Oh. Were you researching Bo Jenkins' Curse of the Spankins?
Is that a... You know what, I'm not even going to ask. The answer is no.
Okay. So, let me see here. I'm making notes of where you are.
Figured out how to, like, throw rocks yet?
I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Was I able to formulate correctly whether it was arm, hand, or body for the magic pebble geometric pattern?
Uh-huh. I got about 75% of that.
No, I was asking God. I wasn't asking you.
Oh. What are you trying to do exactly?
Just use any thrown rock as a magic pebble.
Oh, I see.
I effectively want to replace my darts with rocks.
Magic rocks.
I have to think on that.
I'm not too. I'm willing to not have them be magical if that could.
That's not the
Not have
problem.
consistent.
The problem is if you're able to animate rocks, then that means you can animate rocks of any type, such as gemstones, magical one. You know what I mean? I can't just say rock because that could encompass a lot of shit. So I have to think on that. But anyway, one thing at a time.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right, there are two sagas that are possessed in the Barrow King's court. The first one, you're able to get their titles pretty easily. The first one is Saga of the Seventh Star. The second one is called Saga of Awakening. Which would you like to unveil first?
The Saga of Awakening was the one I gave him, right?
Saga of Ascension was what you gave him.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Awakening was the rumored one.
Mm-hmm.
I will. Is the Saga of Ascension not there?
It is.
Okay, I'll take a look at Ascension first, actually.
Okay. Get all that open here. What's the best way to do this? Give me a scribe check.
Is that the D20 plus level plus proficiency?
Yes. Damn, that's what I like to see.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? So that I don't do this broken up because I'll lose my rhythm. Let's do it this way. Let's do it. So you're starting with Ascension, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let me track your successes. Roll 3 more times. That's all I need right there.
Very nice.
Okay.
Oh goddamn! Look at you rolling there.
I'm a professional.
Okay, so how much time are you going to be spending here?
All of it. Assuming I was able to glean some information from the face tapestry man.
Let me explain. Because you're in the archives, you have the librarian who can actively translate for you. And since you're a guest, and since your influence is 4 now, because of what the one once known as Chrome did, that means that you get access to translations. So you can effectively translate the entire saga if you spend all the time that I need and you make enough successes of all 3 of the sagas here, and I can just tell you a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. In that case...
I might get like a Gatorade or something in between, but yeah, I'll do it.
Alright, roll, hold on. Still getting used to this setup. Nope, that's wrong. Is it this one? Okay. Alright. For the Saga of Awakening, roll me 5 scribe attempts. Okay.
Wow, absolute Giga Chat rolls. What is going on?
3 out of 5. That'll work. Would you like to spend the time to properly translate the ones you missed?
Yes.
Okay, roll 2 more times. Okay, now they both work.
My boy over there. Good night.
And then finally, the Saga of the 7th Star. I need 7 rolls. Before you do it, though, let me separate this. Go.
Go.
Telry isn't nearby.
Telry's doing some damn heresies. What are you doing?
Telry's doing heresy.
All right, give me 5 more to represent the ones you failed at. Okay, 1 more. Okay. All right, that means you will spend 24 days translating this. So that means that the rest of you can do some stuff during that time if you wish.
Nice.
Okay. Holy fuck. I don't even get started on this. It's time for the hidden lore.
No doubt.
Got your rectangles ready there, Luke?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a bunch of them. Got my Dixon Ticonderoga, dude.
How do you keep saying words that I have never heard in my entire life?
It's the pencil. It's the bright yellow pencil with the bright green metal.
The best kind of pencil?
Yeah.
No. Never.
Don't know what the fuck a Dixon Ticonderoga is?
Not by name, God no. You think I cared about what happened at school? I went to science class and that was like my entire day.
Wow. Listen to this guy. Get a load of this guy.
Look, I was one of those unfortunate souls who failed everything but test and aced every test.
I was getting laid.
I don't
Nice for
believe you.
you.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't believe you at all. Like I'm sorry. That
Well, that's a lie right there.
He's just lying.
I had a motorcycle.
God, dude. Oh no. God, that makes me laugh.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, huh? All right. God, I have a lot to get together here. Okay. So I'm trying to formulate the pieces you do have and the pieces that you don't. First, we will start with the Saga of the Seventh Star. You guys hear that music?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really like this one.
All right. So, as you begin to read the Saga of the Seventh Star, it reads as thus. Corvanus was once a land comprised of many petty kings. These individualistic city-states vied for dominance and trying to control their resources. The wilds of Corvanus ran rampant with life and mana. The creatures vast and strong, challenging those that would try to make a home here. But bit by bit, the travelers from afar began to make their own home, and those that had lived here the longest, those known as the Unveiling, welcomed them with open arms. For the people from across the ocean brought with them strange new devices and foreign magics that would make life easier for the people that lived within the spirit swell and underneath their tutelage. And as such, for a time, there was a time of peace. But all of that changed when the demons came. Sprawling from the mountains within the center of Corvanus, an unknown event, even to the Saga's eyes, caused the demons to spring forth. They came sprawling over the mountain like a tide of hate, fire, and death. Those that had barely survived against the trials of the wilds fell in equal abandon from demon claw and tooth, and from spell, and from darkness. It is from that time that those that survived the first wave rose up together, and for a time, all of Corvanus stood as one, bearing the sigils of the Spirits Four, the guardians of the Unveiling. Their shamans summoned forth the spirits to push back the demonic tide and to seal them within the wastes within. However, Such a feat drained the spirits of their strength. They retreated to their temples to recover their faith in their people, that their worship might restore them. But it is within this time that another promise was made. For within an ancient temple, forgotten even by the Antvanti, left behind from the great wars before, there, a sliver of oblivion persisted. And there, a promise was made. For in the final hours, when the demon horde looked not to be defeated, a promise was made from 7 people. 7 people rose as one to face the demonic horde. It was they that lent their strength that led to the destruction of the demon horde and pressing them back to the darkness from whence they came. Drained of their might, the spirits had not the strength to see, nor the visage to reveal what that promised might bring. And as the 7 stood together in celebration, they split themselves into 7 pieces, that each place might be ruled with an even hand, and that together they would form a fellowship that would hold not only those that were lost, but those that were not together, in the hopes that the demons would never return. But there was one that thought differently. One that knew the real reason that demons were even possible. Only one had the courage and the wisdom to make the hardest choice, to truly ensure that the demons would never return. One chose to cut the root and stem from the earth. And from the 7, their alliance was betrayed. And that's what you get for the first one.
Cool.
Next is the Saga of Ascension. Now, this saga has been seen in other places, but this saga, in most other places, has been changed from its original form. The Barrow King possesses a true and accurate, or at least as accurate as one can be, of the rendition of those events when they were first penned. The Saga of Ascension depicts the following: that the 7 split themselves into 7 cities. 1, the city of Saphira, gleaming with sapphires, and using the hordes of the demons that had left behind and what treasures that they had, thought to invest it amongst his people, and indeed, through shrewd mercantile movements, was able to build one of the finest cities of trade and import that one could hope for, even opening a possible line through the abyssal ocean to challenge the denizens therein with brave sailors and braver still merchants. And so, the city of sapphires was birthed by the bearer of the blue light. Far to the west, in Cathair Nagloin, a wizard practiced in the arcane arts had learned much about his battle against demonkind, and there decided that he would discover more ways to strengthen the world. It is said that after forging the city of glass by his own hands, he retreated to an island far to the northwest, where mana pours freely for the West to use. So it is said, the bearer of the green light. Facing an unknown threat, the bearer of the indigo light moved northwest as well, but settled within the razor-sharp cliffs, where an innocuous tower, threatening the entirety of the area, was encompassed and challenged. It is unknown what had become of the bearer of the indigo light, for the strange and powerful magic that emanated from the wayward tower is still unknown to this day. Deep within the mountains of the north, the ancient city of Mornhal, too, was built up. Built up on the ruins of a dwarven city by ancient kin and kith and agreed by the two races. It was here that the bearer of the red light built a city that would honor those that came before. For his heart was heavy for those that were lost. And to this day, he and his kin are yet still buried beneath the stone. To the center isle of the Weeping Lake, a grand city known as Isola was built, and the shrewd bearer of the yellow light sought to put their light to proper use. But they were suspicious and paranoid, and knew what such power might lead to others. So, to ensure that none of her progeny nor kin could ever misuse the light within, she formed a league of assassins to keep a dark watch where all the lights go out. And then, in the center, in the very breadth of the demon wastes, a great black hand was formed, and there a city was built atop it, a city known as Zyrakost. It is there that the bearer of the orange light waited to face the demons from the very wastes that they might rend themselves from. It is there the ambition to make sure that all that darkness would stay forever silenced. And so waited the bearer of the orange light. But far to the east, the city of Aldafife was built, and the swamps and those therein were shown an easy life of good trade, good food, and good fortunes. But it was abandoned. It was abandoned for the bearer of the violet light could not allow such things to be, and indeed knew the truth, that the demons would return for as long as there was light, for as long as there was magic, they would pour into this realm. It was then that the bearer forged a plan, a traitorous but effective plan. To ensure the safety of all, some would be sacrificed. And so, her mind set, conviction in her heart, Mytheria set out to save the world a second time. And so, she did. Piece by piece, the lands fell to the might of Mytheria's church. And so, piece by piece, the continent was brought under the yoke of the light. And the demons were defeated. And the people knew peace. But they also knew nothing else. And so, the Pale City was built. And that's it for the Saga of Ascension.
Roger that. Chronologically, that happened before the 7th star? Was that before or after the 7th star?
No, the 7th star happened first. And
Okay.
I'm reading them to you in order.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And next, the Saga of Awakening. The conquering of Corvinus came at a great cost. Mytheria betrayed her fellowship and brought them to heel. Betrayed her very family, abandoning her home city of Aldefife to forge a better one that would ensure that the world would remain safe. She took many lives that deserved it, and many lives that perhaps could have been spared. But Mytheria saw what no one else would. True peace. And she would do anything to see that it was done. And so, with the cursed shard whispering in her ear, Mytheria finished her work. And at this height, when she would bind all the demons away forever, it is said that she ascended. But that is not the case. For while her people believe that she ascended, she was instead taken. Taken to serve another master. One that would use her. That would use all those voices that scream out against the demons. One that would take the religion that she had formed and all those that would gather around her as a cacophonic collective. And she would serve a greater master and would be forced to face others in other lands. Stolen, used as a tool and a weapon. She was taken. And in other lands, as a servant to this traitorous color, she was defeated. And thus she became, and she waited. And a part of a greater whole streaked across the astral sea. One of the many faces amongst the herald and his master. But then, this tragedy takes a different path. For the unthinkable occurred. The Violet was defeated. and as it was defeated, all those claimed by the violent light were released. Released to return to whence they belonged. Some were lost on their way back, taken by an unknown continent, by an unknown device. But some returned to the lives that they left behind, misshapen, forgotten, or twisted. Mytheria returned to see her teachings and to see her light and what had become of them. But with her return, so too are her deeds undone, and those things silenced and killed would awaken once more. But the future is yet unwritten. Would Mytheria awaken a prisoner or a goddess in her own church? There you go. And for those of you listening, as I don't think there's any failure in revealing it, yes, Mytheria was one of the Violet servants used in the Violet Arc. Specifically, she was the Cacophonic Collective. Yes.
God damn.
Pretty heavy.
So, you gonna share this with the party there, Marlowe? Like, I've been in the library.
Yeah, but I don't know how to explain the whole Violet shit. Probably like Mytheria is probably still alive. Is what reincarnated walking around. I do want to talk. I do want to get everybody together and talk to.
Gonna meet in the bathroom real quick.
Yeah. We can do a bathroom break and then talk to the barrow.
You guys gotta find a bathroom. All right. Yeah.
But there was 21 days. I don't know what you guys were doing then. If you want to take care of that.
Oh man, what does one do for a month?
I mean, I got
A lot.
reading, gearing up, training.
Bro.
Who knows?
Chrome, you want to spar so we don't get rusty?
Oh boy.
Sure, why not? I have some new moves to test out.
Ooh. Anything you haven't shown us in the last combats that we've been in? I know it's been a little while. Again,
Probably a lot.
we have so much dust to shake off here. You and me. Come on.
Did you become a risen? I ask because you're extremely pale and your skin's cracked now.
No,
know.
his pig did.
That did. It's just a side effect of hanging out with one.
Is
Oh.
breakfast skin cracked?
Nara looks sickly at that.
Well, I can use those 9 days to swap out my strength and my wisdom at least. So there's that. I guess the rest of it will just be in the library researching curses. While you guys do your thing.
Hey,
I have something I'd like to do in that time. Hang on a second, looking up names, make sure I get yeah, Trace. I want to find a Trace.
Atreus,
I'd like to
the
Trace Van Trueheart.
princess inset.
Yeah.
Yes,
The inset. Yeah.
the inset.
Yeah. I'd want to chat with them. Because does that make Mytheria your sister?
Yes, that's what that would mean.
If it's not inappropriate to ask, what do you remember about Matheria? What was she like?
Atreus isn't there.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Oh. Never mind. Trace is gone.
No. Atreus is performing missions for the Barrel King.
Never mind, Trace isn't there. I feel like it's a bit too touchy of a subject to go to the Barrow King about. Mind you, Bears King scares me.
Hold on real quick, Chrome. Somebody asked what your character's race is because your profile looks awesome. I'll tell you what his race is. His race is fucking great.
Yep. New race.
He was a half-orc, but now he is a risen.
Half risen or just full risen?
No, you're full risen.
Yeah.
It's just the arm, you know.
It's just like my arms and legs are risen. Rest me. Only half risen.
Risen to the core.
I'm gonna rise! Ah!
Yeah, I've been changing a whole bunch of stuff.
Are there druids that serve the Barrow King's court?
Yeah, but they are also risen.
Fair. There's stuff I want to learn, but I don't know how to ask it as Knarh.
Just gotta ask yourself, does this spark joy? You know.
That's basically it. It was like, how? How are undead druids? But it's like, also, don't be rude to the undeads. Knarh. Smiles.
I love this song, but that part's done.
It is good music.
It's Lost Odyssey, baby.
Oh, man.
What do you want to ask? Here's a tip. How would Knarh not go about it? The way she will just snap right to your mind, I promise.
Gotta be like, hey, does your pee-pee work, Mr. Zombie Man?
Hey, zombie! And then go from there.
Hey, yo, zombie.
Hey, yo, oh, yo, hey, do your
Yeah,
pee work?
filthy rotten corpses.
Hey, yo, do your pee work, bro? Hey, yo, pee.
Just asking for a friend.
That's what I
No, I'll search out a druid. I will smile. I'd like to ask some questions.
Okay, what do you want to know?
You're undead, and
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Just how exactly can you manipulate like life and
like this.
the edit?
Makes a flower grow.
I feel like it goes against your nature, though.
That's pretty racist.
I'm offended.
Apologies. Smile.
I don't think you're sorry. No. Let's expand on that. So you think that
No.
you think that converting and manipulating life energy is against my nature? Why?
Undead. Unnatural.
Oh, you think being dead is unnatural?
No, I think being undead is unnatural.
Why? Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen anyone be healed? With magic?
Thanks. Yes.
Okay. So they're undead. You kept them from dying. That wasn't natural. The druid leans back. See, the problem is, you're stuck, right? Sounds like some Metherian propaganda. You're stuck. You think that because I was dead and now I'm not dead, that means I'm unnatural. When how many times, not only has people used magic, but actual cures and tinctures in order to keep people from dying? And at any point that you prevent a death that would have naturally happened, that is going against the natural order. We do it all the time. You just don't like the way that I do mine, or rather, how we do ours because of what? You were told it was wrong?
No. She's still smiling at him.
Are you going to fake smile, or are you going to actually answer my question and inquiries?
I drops a smile. I apologize.
Why are you sorry?
But
You haven't insulted me. In fact, I'm the one who...
Everything about undeath makes me mad.
Why?
It's taken so much from me.
Okay.
I grew up on the west in the Razor Cliffs. And there, undead don't talk. They just kill.
Let me guess.
They just make more of them. It's a disease.
Right.
It's a
right.
plague.
Sounds like a person to me.
Excuse me?
So think about it. How many people prey on others? They wake up, they kill every day. Like it doesn't even bother them. How many people have you killed, huh?
Are you trying to tell me that the mindless creatures that have wanted me dead for most of the years of my life, from child to young adult, what, do you want me to forgive them?
No, I want you to know what they are. If they're mindless, but you, your own words have stated, then they are blameless. Would you blame the dagger wielded by the bandit? No, they're tools. Used probably by some other entity that controlled them. I'm in control of my senses. I know who I am. Or I suppose at least who I was, and who I am now. Calling us the same thing, that's where the insult lies, and that's where you're wrong. I'm not the same as a mindless undead, just like you're not the same as a common, low-intelligence bandit. Or a feral person driven to starving. Besides, you're an orc. You should know better more than most of these people what it's like to go against nature. You're literally cursed.
Thanks for the reminder.
I'm not trying to insult you. I'm trying to point out that you yourself struggle with the same thing.
Do you ever get to die? To move on?
Yeah.
Some better place?
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else after this. But yeah, we die. Just like everything else.
I watched my friend get turned into a risen, and it sure didn't sound that way to me.
What? That he won't die? Of course he could die. Of course we can all die. In fact, truth be told, I think in a way we're more vulnerable to death. We're already almost there. But, as the king says, we have a lot to get done if we're going to see the wrongs of the past righted. And when we're done, then we'll move on. Our purpose will be completed.
You'll move on.
Well, yeah. At least I will. I had a pretty good life before all things happened.
Were the wrongs of the past to you?
The Pale City? Look at your
Just-
sorceress marks. The people that hunt you for what you are to kill you.
They the only problem?
I mean, there's a lot of problems in the world, but we do what we can with what we've got. They're the major problem, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Are they? They've kept demons at bay this whole time.
Oh, you
yeah,
want
they've been a problem.
You really believe that, don't you?
Oh, I do.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. If they've kept demons at bay, why are they still there? Why is the problem not solved? See, where you're wrong is that you think that they're protecting you, but what they're doing is they're controlling you. If they solve the problem, then why are they still there? Why is your kind being hunted? Tells me they didn't solve the problem. They solved it just enough to put them in a position so they could control you. That's what it says to me. Also, another thing to point out as well.
Yeah.
There were people before Mytheria, and they coexisted just fine. In fact, why did the demons happen in the first place? People were using magic for a long time. I think it's quite suspect, in my opinion, that the demons only really became a problem when Mytheria was involved. Isn't that strange?
There are very few people who could answer that to me.
Right. But you read the sagas, you can read them right there. And I'll tell you right's right.
I suppose that's one thing to keep in mind.
And if you're wrong about that, then maybe you're wrong about undeath. I'm not asking you to forgive all the undead that killed all your friends or family. Of course not. But I am asking you to realize that they're tools. They're not the people that killed your family and friends. It's the people that controlled them that are. They're the ones that are deserving of your ire.
I don't know of anyone controlling them.
Well, then there's your problem. You're ignorant to your enemy. Find out who your enemy is. Because it ain't me. It ain't my people.
Yeah. I suppose that in that case, you are all just a sore reminder of the ones that have wronged me and the tools they used.
That's fair. Anyway, need some good berries?
No, not particularly. What I think I need is to figure out more about neon magic. You're a druid, yes? All that?
Yeah.
I remember I learned from Toad King, his great moistness, that druids were becoming scarce due to the war, and that's one of the reasons magic is messed up, is because...
Make no mistake, it isn't just because of the war. It's because we were systematically killed by Matheria, because we knew the truth to her propaganda. We knew that the real reason why that there were demons and other such maladies of magic is because it wasn't properly regulated. Just like anything else, if not properly tended to, can wither and die or become infested with parasites. I digress. It was because she was systematically genociding my people, or those that practice my religion. They're the reason. That's why. It wasn't just because there was a war. I mean, haven't you ever seen a church perform a ritual of execution before?
Thinks back to the Razor Cliffs. I suppose yes. It was to one of their own, so...
Yeah. If they did that to their own, imagine what they would do to a perceived enemy.
I don't know. They let me go.
Oh, did they? That's a deception check.
Didn't he?
No.
No, we were thrown in prison.
Oh,
No.
turned us over?
No, you were not let go.
Well, turned
Yeah,
us
you
over. He
prison
didn't
broke.
kill me on the spot!
That
No,
doesn't
no,
mean he
right.
let you go.
Alright. Turned
Threw
me
you in jail.
over.
That was the bureaucracy taking over. That's not letting you go.
Just kill me.
That's
He
not...
was in his.
He's like, he let me go. No, he didn't, bro.
He was in
That's
someone
my
else's
bad.
jurisdiction.
Oh shit, that was some funny shit, dude.
Marlowe walks out of the saga room. He's like, actually, hold on.
Actually, hold on. You were in jail.
Get it, Marla.
Awaiting transportation. Sorry, I heard some inaccuracies. It closes the door. Just let me know if there's any more. So
Right.
Comparing this to the
Corner of
bureaucracy
Saga.
always makes me think the church let us go and we were going to get killed by the people.
Nah, the people are the church.
What?
Yeah.
point is,
I disagree in that thought, but yes.
church didn't let you fucking go, dude.
No.
You could say he let you go. Church did not. You were literally waiting to be transported
Fair.
to another fucking judicial system.
Very fair.
Like, technically speaking, this judge let you go. The state of Arizona did not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, so the druid will, seeing as how you're not needing any of its services, I should probably get back to the crops. It was good
Surprising
speaking with
since-
you, though.
Suppose it's surprising since you guys don't really eat.
We don't, but those breathers that serve us do. We gotta make sure they're well fed.
Oh. Wasn't sure how many of them served you.
Oh, a lot of them. A lot of them help us, actually. And we also take in people that are lost in the swamp and that are destitute by the church's actions. But don't worry, I'm a horrifying undead that only knows how to kill. You have a good day. And he'll dab the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Well, that's only added more questions to my mind. Great.
Got any spells?
God. I have a spell I still haven't ever used. I've never used Find Familiar.
We got a month.
Yeah, we got a whole month.
Got a month. I'm gonna find a nice safe spot. A nice, pretty safe spot. I'm gonna cast the magic in a good place.
A nice,
same.
pretty safe spot. And
Looks
nice.
at swamp.
Just go to
Out of
this.
luck.
Just go to this point in the field where there's like a whole bunch of little braided grass. Definitely the right spot.
Yeah, that's a nice spot. Wonder who braided all this grass. Let's see. I remember watching.
Hello, my name's Ted.
Maybe I should move to this spot. Okay.
Alrighty. Anybody else like to do anything?
I think other than swapping out strength for wisdom like I was supposed to do in town and the research, that's about it.
Okay. And Chrome, excuse me, Veneth Tyr can use that time getting used to his new body. Yeah. So we got you guys ready to do some bathroom meetings?
Bathroom meetings, yes.
Bathroom meetings it is.
Meetings.
Unfortunately, I don't have a fucking toilet in the Barrel King's court for you to use.
Just give us a bush.
So here, go inside this bathroom bush.
Also, Veneth Tyr has
What
had
the
a blip.
fuck is Veneth Tyr?
He had a blip in his internet, and he's having trouble getting back into Foundry. Although it says he's here.
Might need
I
to
don't know
restart.
if he,
Yeah,
if
on
he
my
needs
side,
pick.
when I try to click the username, it's all blocked out. So
Oh,
Okay,
you
let me
need to
try-
completely close Foundry.
Let me try and kick you.
yeah.
Okay, you're kicked. Try now.
All right. Think I'm joining now.
Weird.
You know, I don't. My internet died at like halfway through your the talk with Knarh.
Oh, I was just dunking on her.
Oh no, I was on my phone for,
Oh,
for
okay.
that bit. It's
So
just-
did Knarh? I missed something. Did Knarh? Not?
Did
Never
Nara
mind.
what?
Weren't you gonna like summon your thing, or did
Oh.
you decide not to?
No, we can do that later. This is swamp.
I think she wants to get to the bathroom talk because you guys got a lot to talk about.
Ah, yes, a
Yeah.
bathroom familiar.
No, that sounds even worse.
I
Telry.
am the turd burglar.
Toilet Papa.
Stick with your racist dog.
What
Racist
is-
towards the poor.
Marlowe, what are you doing here, my dear? That's Marlowe's line.
It's not a racist dog anymore, Knarh. It is way worse.
It is
Man,
way worse.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. It's a noodle with wings, and I'm not going to be using it until I'm going in the right direction for it. It's a little unruly and
I
chaotic.
can only imagine a plate of spaghetti with chicken wings on it.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Is that a metaphor?
No, that's as close as I can get to actually describing the thing.
Also,
Anyway,
everyone, welcome to the
summoning
bathroom.
lunch?
Thank you for joining me.
Yes. Anyway, what's the toilet meeting about this time?
We'll have to shit outside, like my grandfather.
Like my grandfather.
Back and mile.
Go ahead.
Okay. First off, how are you guys doing?
I'm
The-
dead.
The
I-
smell could be. Wait, what?
You're what?
I asked you, and you're
Yeah.
like, "No, it's the pig." And then,
Yeah, I was waiting for till everyone's there, so I don't have to ask for a different answer 4 different times.
Oh.
what?
Well,
Uh,
Yeah, it was the second night we were here. I just
Oh,
decided to.
we've been here for like how long? And you're just telling us now?
I think we've been here
Oh.
for 21 days.
In a month?
Yeah, it was. I had to make sure I was actually undead. I haven't slept since.
Remind me not to have philosophical talks with druids. They take too long, apparently.
Is that a metaphor?
Aiton.
I don't think Knarh has ever spoken in a single metaphor at any point in time.
What's a metaphor?
Yeah, my point. Exactly. That's the one.
Oh, it's for knowing stuff out of character.
Oh yes.
That's what a meta is for.
Haha. Oh.
Exactly, just as God just said.
Just as God's in our
Didn't
toilet
hear
meeting.
no Matheria.
She's anyway.
So, been some findings in the sagas.
I was told to go read those.
It'll take you a while.
Oh,
But I can give you the short and skinny of it. I think we should all talk to the Barrow King. But I'll share what I know for the time being. Then we can prepare our questions as to better respect his time. Seems that Matheria had, as we probably know at this point, betrayed her kin, the 7 statues that we saw. In doing so, conquered the land, and instead of ascending to godhood, she was killed. And something of that nature, a godness of something, took shape, but she was sent away. It says in the last saga, the Saga of Awakening, that she had returned in a different body and bore witness to what happened. And I believe that was about 50 years ago, when people were speaking about the church losing a bit of its power. Still a few things that are muddled, like exactly why the demons are here. It mentions an attraction to their energy, the mana.
So,
It seems that she... Sorry, what were you saying?
well, you said she died. Is she also arisen of sort?
Are you familiar with the concept of reincarnation?
I know the word.
It's when a soul inhabits a new body after it dies, but sometimes, and most of the times, it doesn't retain its memory. I believe in this case, she did.
Oh, alright, that's understandable.
But having read this, I am led to believe that there is a incarnate of Matheria walking around. And the Barrow King, knowing this, I'm sure he is aware that she is existent in physical form. So I'd like to get his take on that. Perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps I've misunderstood. There's a lot of nuance. Took a long time to translate.
Interesting. So, but you've copied them down then.
Yeah. Marlowe will lift up his shirt and you see that there are 3 scrolls shoved into his pants. Then he'll put his shirt back down over him.
Oh, you must be glowing then.
I don't feel a thing. Sorry, what?
Huh?
Huh.
Is it safe keeping everything in your pants like that?
Yeah.
Alright.
Hilarious.
He'll light a cigarette and then offer you one.
He'll take it.
So, been fine so far.
Take a hit, pass it over to Telry.
Have you guys learned anything? Or gleaned any information?
I will pass. This time. Well. Yeah, I summoned my mount. I'm not going to be having my mount around for a while. It is big and scary and wants to go to the Pale City on the mission that I'm eventually tasked to do. So while I'm not ready for that yet, yeah, that's a thing.
What awaits you in the Pale City?
Battle and war.
Oh, so we can't really summon it unless we're fighting the church, basically?
Yes, but I wouldn't do it just for any reason. That's definitely one with some intent and direction. It has to do with the particular quest that I don't expect any of you to come with me on. In fact, I would be surprised if you did. So, no worries there.
To fly directly into the Pale City to sow chaos and madness.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, you're gonna have to sell that one pretty hard to me, actually.
I know it. Still working on it.
Editor's note: Marlowe thinks that's really cool.
I mean, it is cool, but like, yeah.
Like, there needs to be some talking there. Yes.
I got other shit to do. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between cool and smart, alright?
Yeah. In any case,
Telry got a Harley. He's like, man, that is
Yeah,
cool,
right.
but that's kind of loud.
I used to
it's
drive
so
a Harley.
loud. Well, the Barrow King is heading in that direction anyway at some point, and when he does, I might join him. Mainly because while my direction is a chaotic one, I am not quite ready to let those reins fly free on their own just yet. I would like to have a hand in choices being made. But that's for another time. That's not now.
I'm
Beyond
pretty
that,
sure you gave that hand up quite a while ago.
I still have hands on the reins. Whether I can control it, we'll figure that out eventually.
Or were you just saying
Oh,
that
sorry,
you
there's an
literally can't
earthquake
control the
happening.
reins? Wait, what?
Yeah, it tried to take off with me, so I'm still here.
Alright.
Yeah, watch the whole thing.
Did it
Yeah,
really look like spaghetti?
It looked like
With a
pasta.
very, really big mouth.
Huh.
Nara imagines the plate of spaghetti with a really big mouth.
Because anyway, I've learned next to nothing in the last month. I've woken up, I've sparred. Yeah. Anybody else come up with anything cool besides sitting around waiting for the sagas to be written down?
Oh, just a little bit the training I was supposed to do in town, beforehand. As well as, just some personal research.
A lot of self-discovery, I guess I can say.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. So,
So
Marlowe,
you're
you've summed it up for us, but the mission is still the same. You're still wanting to go north.
Yeah. Head up north, do my thing, head back down, offer assistance to the Barrow King wherever he needs it.
Oh yeah, before we set up north, I have to talk to the Barrow King. He said I have a task to do. And I was like, alright, fair enough.
We should probably all talk to him before we leave, realistically speaking.
I may not
True.
want to, but he's scary.
You allied with him.
He has a certain presence. I mean, I agree. He's
He's the
definitely
dad
got.
to my god. That's mind-boggling and horrifying.
Didn't, Marlowe just say that she's not a god or something?
That she
After all that-
ascended and then went through rebirth of some kind. I don't know.
Wait, sorry, what?
You were saying that, Materia, died and then rebirthed.
Oh, she did. Yeah.
Was she ever a god then?
I think godness happened.
Godness happened.
Yeah, one of those. If enough people believe in something, it has an impression upon the ephemeral faith space that binds both the dream of dreams and reality, and the permeability in between those two.
Did this happen at the death point or the rebirth point?
I believe the death point.
So she died, became a god, and then was reborn?
No, I think she died, and a godness occurred, and that has been co-opted by the organization known as the Church of Matheria.
Marlowe, I think at this point you're actually tripping over the simple words and trying to explain it to me.
I'm trying to be as direct as possible.
Oh.
There is no entity known as Matheria who is a god. There is a god that has been named Matheria. But the actual entity known as Matheria, or Aldefife as her original name was, is currently incarnated in a person who is somewhere, at least as of about 50 years ago.
Probably the high priestess of the church,
What makes you say that?
because I've been told that if I kill her, it'll change things. So that's a clue, if nothing else.
Who told you that?
And
Yes.
again, Telry, I don't want you to fully kill her.
Yet. I don't want to do it yet either. But it's a clue, it's something, and Marlowe, I think you know who told me that.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
In any case, that's if we were to be looking for her, that would be where I'd start.
Wait, we talking about the squid in the robe that you called an angel, or
No, the bigger, the actual one, the Dark Truth.
I'm not talking to him.
The squid in a robe is a being that's magnitudes beyond your level of not only comprehension but capability. It's something to keep in mind of Gruul.
I don't know. I could comprehend it a pretty disgusting thing. I don't know what you mean by.
It was gross. I wanted to shove a spear in it.
That would probably be a mistake, so you might not do that.
Alright, yeah, don't worry. Half of a skill of a hunter is knowing when you don't fight something.
Mm-hmm. Well, in any case, that's something to worry about later, and no doubt something that the Barrow King is probably going to be aiming for eventually himself, if I had to guess. Because crushing the Pale City would also include crushing the organization of the church, I imagine. That would be Her High Holiness, and the Maiden, and the 4 knights and everything.
Yes, though, maybe not in front of any of the Barrow King's men? Hopefully?
What?
The horse thing?
Oh, well, if I'm working with him, I'm going to be clear about it. When the time comes, I am offering my services because that's the direction I need to go eventually, and the Barrow King has the muscle for it, as far as we can tell.
I guess that's the question to put forward. How much are we going to inform them, seeing as we are now allies? Is there anything we shouldn't talk about?
Do we know anything they don't?
Well, I think the most important thing, you look at Marlowe, the one our friend warned about.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That we got from the temple. That's not the saga.
The scroll?
That's
Oh,
not.
that thing.
Oh, the key?
Yes.
The key that opened the door so we could get the scroll.
No, the other thing that Marlowe's carrying. The thing that's not a key.
Well, I mean, still technically a key, but it's more than a key.
That wasn't from the temple.
Oh.
That's effectively taken care of.
Oh,
Oh.
is it?
Okay. Phew, good. Haha. All
But you
good then.
You just put it back in your pants.
This is in the different pants.
When you say taken care of, as in don't worry about it, or
Yeah.
okay, so don't talk about that one.
I wouldn't.
Is that what we're picking up here?
Yeah.
Anything else we're keeping hidden? Or should, or want to? Mostly looking at Telry.
What? No, everything's in the air. I did consider asking him what his thoughts would be on the Dark Truth, but I hardly feel that's relevant right at the moment. Maybe when it's time to go to the Pale City, you'd probably appreciate the boost.
That might be a little late to ask the question.
Oh, and perhaps I'll mention it to him now. Whenever we go meet with him again.
I want to ask him about Etheria.
Did you get much on the other people? Other than Etheria in the temple with her? Or was it just all her? Any
No,
other history?
Nothing too much. They all rose their kingdoms. It sounded a lot like what the Barrow King was talking about, how there are sections of land to be ruled over. Separate dominions. It seems that they each had their own. And she broke an oath by conquering the others.
Ugh.
Well, do we know her reasoning for the traitor act?
Well, I think it's almost as the church says, to get rid of all magic. A heavy-handed approach to the problem of demons.
Because if you get rid of the apostates, the demons don't come through.
But there's demons, so I'm guessing it didn't work.
Well, there's a lot more apostates now, too.
Well, if she's...
It worked for a while, Gruul, but it's not now.
It seems that's the case. Upon her return or reincarnation, the demons came back.
Oh.
Which lines up
That makes a
from
lot
what
more
I've
sense.
heard.
So
During
wait,
all the time that they were gone, they didn't reclaim the demon wastes or anything?
oh, hold on. Did her ascending to a goddess thing, as you've described it, seal the demons? And now that she's back, that's broken?
I believe so.
Oh.
So wait, if they got rid of the demons for so long, why is the demon waste still there? I get that, like, they're back, but shouldn't they have reclaimed it during that time?
Are you talking about the demons?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If she was successful in dealing with the demons, shouldn't they have reclaimed the land, or at least attempted? I mean, how many years was she gone before she resurrected?
450, I believe.
The demon wastes are massive. That's a vast space of land.
And orcs have been pushing into it for generations. I don't think that 450 years of their loss of power, their ceiling, would happen.
Well, there was a city there, apparently, that Zyrokos place.
But he was saying that was before all this?
And there's a tower there to mess with exposure.
Well,
I'll have to make some graphs and shit.
yeah.
Oh no. More Marlowe grass.
I guess
Pictures.
my only worry is, wouldn't most of these people have been dead long ago and probably wouldn't know about this? Like,
Well, I
what
think we've
happened
met two
during
of them that probably do. Being
Well, they-
the Weeping and Smiling Knight.
Oh,
There's also the Barrow King, who was alive then.
wait.
What makes you
wait.
think the Weeping and Smiling Knight were around then? Isn't it like a mantle that's passed down? They're not like hundreds of years old. Wait, Marlowe's hundreds of years old.
Well, they could have been like
They could be.
elves or something.
Ah. Yeah, I don't know why I never considered that as a possibility. Well, mainly because the church hates elves. There's that.
Well, they don't deny them rights if they're of the church. Same with the orcs.
Is it a mantle that's passed down? If it is, I'm not aware of it. I
I
mean, you would know being.
I don't know. It's what I've always assumed. I mean,
Didn't you grow up in the
sounds
church?
cool, right? Yeah, but I'm not like. I didn't take good notes in my training.
Well, if one of them was killed and another would take his place, that would be big news, right?
Yeah, Knarh knows more about the religion than I do. Somehow.
How is?
I don't know. I am terrible at taking notes.
Do you?
So what you're saying is that you heard all the "let's go be righteous and fight for the light," and that's all you kind of paid attention to.
I mean, yeah.
Yep, sounds like him. And then you know what he heard? Oh, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, go ahead and say it.
What? We're in the bathroom. This is
This is the place to talk.
No,
This
I'm
is a
trying to
safe
be-
space, dude.
yeah. What God said.
It's safe where I'm shitting right now.
Ew.
Nothing else will come around.
Yeah.
Why are you saying ew? This is the bathroom. This is where we go. What?
You said you like nature.
Honestly, Telry, you went from let's be righteous to hearing someone else say, let's fix the world. You just traded.
Well, no, Matheria was fixing the world too. That's
You
he
still
was just
heard the
doing it
same.
wrong.
You still heard the same spiel said by someone else.
Someone else who has more of a point. Matheria was clearly doing it wrong. The sagas as much as prove that.
Sounds like good old Telry.
But I am me.
You sound
What can I say?
disappointed. No.
Rug. I am.
You disappointed that he's not like bright or
Why
Thinks
did you
differently.
save me anyway? What was the point?
we were on an adventure together. You were employed by my employer.
No, not
No,
after.
before that.
In the Razor Cliffs, before we met everybody else. Why? Why did you?
How'd I save you?
What was the point?
An experiment. Nothing else, nothing more, really. Tired of
Yes.
seeing people dying, and even I care about the church because I did believe at the time, even now, sort of, I might believe parts of it are wrong and all that, but at the time I do believe Matheria was right. I was a monster, but even then I was going to try and save someone who needed saving. And you gave me a little bit of hope at that time. Because you proved not all the church is a problem. Not all of them want to see me dead.
So you're less disappointed that I am turning out the way I am, and more disappointed that you were wrong. The church is bad, and
No.
I'm the one who sees it. The church's views on you has not changed. Mine have. Me, Telry. I don't see you as a monster. I was brought up to see you as a monster, and I don't. That makes me a bad Matherian. And that's why I left. Don't be disappointed in me.
You haven't changed.
No, I'm true to myself. But I have changed who I serve and where I look based on new information. I have grown. A little. But I am still me, and I will always be me.
I don't see it.
If I can chime in here.
Please.
I met a handful of servants to the Dark Truth, and you're a very bad servant.
I know.
In the fact that I don't think you really believe or have faith in what that is and what that means.
This is some fancier words, but yeah, that's sure. We'll go with that.
Been kind of past disappointment for a while now. Just kind of understanding at this point.
I mean, you do you, right? But
No, you're right.
I would say serve is in very light air quotes.
Work
I
with,
think the only thing you serve is your own ignorance.
cooperate.
Cooperate, that barely. To be honest, I am terrible at it. And I'm afraid of being better at it, because I don't want to be a pawn or a puppet.
You're not going to be a puppet for somebody else if it's something you genuinely believe in.
It seems like you have less of a goal and more of an ideal. You want to do something, be something, make sure that you've done something right. Doesn't really seem like you care what it is. So long as you think you've done right by the world.
So long as I've helped. So far, we've uncovered a bunch of sagas and found truths that nobody else knows about. People need to know them, and I think that that is a right thing to do.
And how many times do you think you've helped us with that? And how many times do you think you've hindered us with it?
I don't know.
I do, I've kept track.
Let's just say you've hindered us more than you've helped.
We've been over this.
Struggling around in the dark means you're going to knock a lot of things over.
If you want to fly to the Pale City and incite carnage and chaos or whatever, like, you know, more power to you.
I'd rather not. I don't know what I'm after.
Yeah, that's been noted.
So, for the time being, I'm helping you guys with what you're after. And maybe I'll get inspired. That's what I want to do, is I want to help you guys and watch you guys, because I see that what you are doing as a group is beneficial, and whether I hurt that or help that, my intention is to help that. That hasn't changed.
Well, we'll see how it turns out. I'm sure you'll still be endearing, and we'll just kind of look over it again. Don't worry.
Thanks. Endearing. That's,
If you touch my rocks, though, we'll have a fucking problem.
What if he wields your rocks?
If he wields my rock, he'd be touching them.
I don't want to have anything to do with your
Grasp
rocks.
his rocks.
No. All right. So
I'd cut your dick off and wear it like a trophy.
Where would you wear it though?
Yeah, I
Right.
don't want to know.
It changes day. It changes day by
Like,
day.
to all
like,
of our
like on your
minds.
head, like a hat. Like what's happening right now?
I'll make multiple hooks. in different
Remember, it's
places.
so big you can wear
My
like a
whim.
scarf.
Let's have to make a mold of it and sell it to Bad Dragon, because you'd make bank.
I've never met a
anyway.
bad dragon.
Hey, is that how you thinking about it?
Most dragons are pretty bad to encounter. Anyway,
Nice. Anybody else have things they want to discuss with the Barrow King before we?
Did we figure out anything about his connection to the druids? Figure it's like
No.
a small thing. Oh.
There are some. But no, we haven't asked that.
Not too much beyond that.
Are you
Haven't got-
interested?
It's more of a connection to the Toad King, truth be told, but he seems to not be interested in a more peaceful action. So not much to be seen with there.
I don't think he sees a route forward. Not to read his mind, but when dealing with the Church of Matheria, I don't think it's a "hey, let's talk this over" type situation.
Certainly. I think a big part of this might have something to do with their nature or something. Whenever he got excited, he got more animate. Like his body was stronger or something. I think something to do with who they are might have something to do with it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's the saga that gave him exposure, and based off of that, he just became a stronger risen.
We all have meta knowledge on like what it means to be a risen now, right? Or like in character knowledge, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been hanging around him for a month.
Yeah. Okay.
Chrome's literally
Well,
risen.
I think probably the reason he's sitting in the circle the whole time is to pull the energy out of it, right?
Most likely. He's a mana vampire, effectively.
We'll only know if we ask.
Well, he wasn't standing there the whole time. He was just meeting you there.
Oh, okay.
Well, you said last time that it seemed as if he never moved.
Yeah. That doesn't mean he doesn't.
Oh.
That was I was trying to describe that how he's dead.
Oh.
You know, he has
I've shit with him in this bush.
like, you know, he has no idle animation. You know, he doesn't have a pulse. He doesn't move a lot.
Oh, I thought you were getting that he's like trapped in the circle permanently. My bad.
Okay. So he does stay near where there's magic because he has to feed. You remember how I said the more powerful you are?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
assuming.
I mean, but that doesn't mean he can't leave that space. That's not what that means.
Gotcha.
Well, I think we should go ask him.
All right.
I'd like to know if he knows about his daughter's incarnation, or if he could shed some light on that. Sure, if you have druid questions.
Time
or
to
whatever.
go ask him difficult questions about his family.
That he very much wants to have.
I heard your daughter was reincarnated.
As
And,
as evil.
is-
Could you tell me more
Is,
about
is she single?
that? Oh my god.
So I heard that your daughter is
As
my
a
god,
friend.
and
I'm married, but I'm asking for a friend.
I'm asking for a friend.
no, I'm married.
All right. Okay, so you guys are gonna go talk to the Barrel King about more of that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, as that will lead to some fucking intense roleplay. We're about done anyway, so we'll just call it there.
Cool. Let's go pick up.
Yeah, it's a good
They're
place.
nice.
Oh, did I get any results from the curse research?
You get nothing.
Oh.
Die.
Oh.
No, you
Okay.
learned about Bo Jenkins' Curse of the Spankins.
I'll have more of that for you tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but next time. Just remind me.
I'll put it in the notes.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's do some fan art.
From art.
I'm fanning. I'm already.
Used to call me on my saxophone.
What?
That's a Storm Edge thing.
Okay, how am I gonna do? Hold on, how am I gonna do? Oh, Kali Dokali. First up we have is. Wait,
Whoa.
this is fan art from Prince. Okay, this has nothing to do with. Okay.
Damn, that's
Cool Nara art, though.
It's
I tried to imagine the guards reaction to Telry's summoning of the dead. That was unnatural. We're undead, remember? Right. I am a proud, ignorant woman, and no one is going to change that.
Thank you, Stormage. Thank you.
And Knarh during this whole episode.
Hi.
Oh shit, it's transformation time.
Transformation Central.
Oh shit.
Yo.
Very sick. So
Oh, that's such a good fist make. Like, it's very good.
Damn.
Look at him.
I can't wait till it's finished.
Very good
That's
fan
wild,
art,
man.
everybody. Very good. All right,
Very
well,
excellent.
we'll pick things up next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being a part of everything. And I'll see you
Icky.
next time.
nice.
Bye.
See you.